Good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Breaking news earlier today is the Titans are releasing outside linebacker Harold Landry. Landry, a 2018 second-round pick and a 2021 Pro Bowl selection, accumulated 50 and a half sacks with the Titans. He was the longest tenured Titan remaining on the roster, spending 7 seasons on the team. Another Titans news, the team is concluding their week of early 30 visits with one of the draft's top quarterback prospects. Miami quarterback Cam Ward is in Nashville today, meeting with the Titans coaches and staff. Abdul Carter met with the Titans yesterday. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter from Colorado will meet the team next week. Tennessee baseball begins a 3-game series against St. Bonaventure tonight. The Vols enter the weekend as one of just 5 unbeaten teams remaining in Division I college baseball. First pitch is at 5 p.m. as lefty Liam Doyle takes the mound with a 2-0 record and a 0.61 ERA. In college hoops on Saturday, the Vols will take on South Carolina at Food City Center for Senior Day. The regular season finale tip-off is at 1 p.m. and you can catch the Vol Network call the game right here on The Zone. For your foundation repair and whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Happy Friday to you. What's happening?
We made it, y'all.
It's a beautiful day in Music City, right, Babs?
Yes, it is.
I've got you on board.
It's a little gross out there, but that's okay. That's
Babsy's here, y'all.
Happy Friday. Zeph's pissy at me.
Why?
She's going to a Vandy UT volleyball game tonight, and she's wearing all Vandy stuff.
Yeah, but she's an Auburn person.
So?
But she's friends with Anders Nelson, the coach.
So?
I serve on their committee.
You're friends with 3 Vols. You should wear some orange.
She's friends with many Vols.
I love you, Vols people. Y'all are a little crazy.
So the other day, Babsy produced 3HL for a little while. Like full on produced it.
I mean, we don't even need Zeph.
We definitely
Fine,
need stuff.
I'm going to leave. Have fun trying to figure it out when I'm gone.
I'm trying to figure out why Zach's in there. Is he learning how to produce a show?
No, his ride is not here.
Oh.
Zach, you got a ride today?
Is your wife
What
coming
were you
to get
drinking?
you?
My wife's coming to pick me up so we can go down to see my parents. So I just leave the car here.
I thought you were just drinking during the show. I thought you were just drinking during the show and needed a ride.
Yeah, and, I just just taking some shots. I found the stash that Slay has around the studio.
Yep.
Got
just
into
check
it.
the lunchbox.
I was told he wasn't here, so I was like, I'll just finish off this bottle.
I'll just borrow it. Hey, by the way, I listened to you and Hitman coming in. I really approve of your GM skills.
Thank you.
And I don't always agree with you, right?
The natural push and pull of an Alabama Auburn fan.
Right. Yeah, it's natural. But
Speaking of, y'all play tomorrow, for those that don't know.
Yes, we do.
Who's going to win?
Auburn.
Alabama. I wanted to make sure I went second, so I got last word.
Oh, yeah. See, that's such a typical
You are a
Bama.
last word guy. I know that.
No, but I really, because I am on record and have been from the get-go that you have the number 1 overall pick, you get a quarterback, and you get Cam Ward, and all the pushback against me is, but there's so many holes that you have to fill, and I thought you did a phenomenal job. If anybody missed it, go back and listen to the podcast for cover 2 from today. I thought you did a phenomenal job of basically filling all those holes so that I can tell people, just go listen to what Zach said, and you can still draft a quarterback 1 overall and get that position in check. And then Mayor, he went Jimmy G as the veteran who can train Cam Ward so you don't have to throw him in. Which is what I originally
none of these
said.
Quarterback
Kirk Cousins.
options. Yeah, I mean, I could
Which
be
we
Kirk
can't
Cousins
do.
fine, but Jimmy G's now a year removed from being healthy. He didn't take, he didn't take a lot of hits last year. And the one game he played, he threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Like
He didn't have to play last year. That's
and he's
why.
like $4.5 million.
Okay, so 33
He's
years
cheap.
old. He's going into year 12.
Yeah.
He's only played 8 games the last 2 seasons.
That's fine. We only need him for 8 games.
9 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Yeah, that's fine.
He didn't play a lot.
Yeah, he didn't play a lot.
He's still 50-50 on touchdown interception. I'm tired of that guy.
That was last year is what matters. It's recency bias here on cover too. So last year's what matters.
That's true.
I mean, he loves adult film stars. Do we have those in Nashville?
I'm sure we do. If not, we can just do the bachelorette parties, right?
I mean, the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And my whole thing with drafting a rookie quarterback is that no rookie quarterback is really ready. I mean,
Right.
and even people are like, well, what about Jaden Daniels? Well, even Cosell and Borgonzi, when we had him on, was like, look at how they utilized him early in the season. They kept it simple.
Yep.
They made sure that they did things that he wasn't put in complete pressure situations. And then as the season went on and he got more comfortable, they kind of opened it up for him, right?
Right.
But even Jaden Daniels wasn't necessarily ready as a rookie. So that's why my argument is let Cam get his feet wet, get a veteran in here, a veteran who clearly knows Jimmy G's a great option. He knows what it takes to
And listen, if
prepare
Cam Ward beats
and
him
get
out,
ready.
Cam Ward beats him out,
Great.
right?
Yeah.
Hot take. I'd rather Will Levis than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Really?
Yes. Especially if you're going under
See,
those
this is why
parameters.
Babs is wearing Vanderbilt stuff, by the way.
Smart.
Especially if you're going
Got
under
the
those
Vandy
parameters.
brains.
If Cam Ward beats out Jimmy G, he beats out Jimmy G. Well, great. If he beats out Will Levis, he beats out Will Levis.
Well,
Like, if you
that's not an if, though.
If you draft a quarterback number 1 overall, he's playing, dude.
I know,
Okay.
but the point is to have someone back there like an Alex Smith. Obviously, Alex Smith started, but it's better to have a guy back there like that than a guy like Daniel Jones or Will Levis who are put them together and you have half a brain between the two of them.
Danny
And Will
Dimes. Give me
Levis-
Danny Dimes from 2022, and I was wrong.
Well, we
I'm
don't
not
have
totally
a freaking DeLorean.
opposed. I'm not totally opposed to Danny.
See, we're
Dimes,
starting to work
honestly,
on
but
her with Danny Dimes.
they
I used to
have-
call him Danny Pennies.
Don't let them wear you down.
I know.
This is like Blaine trying to get me to be on board with Drew Lock. Don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
That I loved Drew Lock in college too, but every Missouri
did.
game he threw that I worked, he threw 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
every single
If
one.
you want
There
Drew
was
Lock,
5
just
of
get
them.
Brady Cook in the
So
7th round.
part of the
Right.
bias there is we went and talked with him during, she already knew him, but we went and talked to him before the Music City Bowl one year. He's the nicest guy, man. I hate to root against that dude.
So nice, yeah. But see, okay, the Levis over Jimmy. Here's my argument to you on that: is Levis he ain't there to help mentor some rookie quarterback.
And do you really want him
No,
mentoring you?
no.
Yeah, what to give us that?
And clearly,
Here's my point of reference.
right.
Watch this underhand behind the back pitch.
Yeah,
pitch.
here.
I mean, he'll learn. Cam Ward will learn what not to do very quickly.
That is very true.
Hey, Cam,
but-
you ever see Dude Perfect? Watch my film.
Yeah.
And Levis doesn't have time for that. I think he had serious mental in his own head issues last year. That's not.
And
the
he's
guy
likely going to request a
mentoring.
trade if they draft a quarterback. He's going to be like, agent, please get me out of here. Right? I mean, he's not going to
think?
stay.
I mean, but he ain't worth.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
but if
but
you
I mean,
can't
he just
trade
wants a
Harold
different
Landry-
situation. I mean, you can always trade a quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Harold Landry was the victim of
Yeah,
timing.
look at Malik Willis.
I look at the edge draft class and the edge free agency class. Why would you trade for Harold Landry's $17.5 million contract? It was he was just a victim of timing. At
And
that
that
point.
contract is
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah. Doesn't
Now-
it sound massive compared to Max Crosby? That was a big thing we got in our chat, but
He ain't
again,
Max Crosby,
He ain't
though.
Max Crosby.
Yeah. Well, and then, so of course, I'm looking at Twitter today when the Landry news comes down, and Titans fans are like, oh, Abdul Carter loading. And I'm like, no, not necessarily.
Right.
They were going to get rid of Harold Landry regardless.
Well,
because
they
of that
said at the
contract.
heading into the combine, I think that weekend heading into it, they were like, we've asked him to take a pay cut. He's not going to take one. We're going to put him up for trade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Right, so they may take Abdul Carter,
Yeah,
but
but it's
releasing Harold Landry has nothing to
Right.
do with them
Exactly.
telling you what they're going to do. It has
Exactly.
nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, can you stay on a little bit? We got
Yeah.
a phone call that somebody wants to talk about Zach's hypothetical.
Ron in Nashville. Ron, what's up?
Yeah, Well, what I was wondering is it's the last press conference of the year. Brian Callahan spoke to the media about the end of the season. Mm-hmm. We also heard Brinker say the same thing, that this was a draft and developed team. We're going to get 30 picks in the next 3 years, and they've been pretty stuck on that. But if you take a number one pick, then you're only guaranteed 8 picks unless you do something crazy in the draft to get more. But that's going totally against what they said they're going to do. And are we not believing what they've already told us their plan is, and we're just going totally against that and saying, well, we'll trust them to do it this other way now?
I mean,
great point, Ron.
It is a great point, but you have to watch what you believe when people start talking.
Well, it is also a 3-year thing, right? Like we're in year one of a 3-year draft strategy, and not everybody gets to do it over 3 years. A lot of teams come really close, but you can also trade if you're talking about top 100, right? You could trade your second round pick. We saw the Atlanta Falcons did this last year. They traded up to 35, which is ironically enough what the Tennessee Titans have in this draft, for Rook Arroyo, and they traded their second and third in that same draft last year and got back a second and a sixth. So like you can pick up. There's one more right there.
And my argument to that, Ron, with Zach's hypothetical is, they basically what I took from what Borgonzi was saying is they're not going out and going to spend a boatload in free agency. Your hypothetical was very much realistic, not necessarily demanding a ton of money in free agency kind of players, but good options to fill holes.
Well, what did Nick Suss write in the Tennessean? Like they spent $190 million last year in cash on free agents.
Yeah.
And I spent 80-something million in cash on 19 free agents.
19 total.
19 free agents.
So, Ron, you're absolutely right because they did say that, and that is a great point, but per Zach's hypothetical, I think it was, hey, let's fill all these holes so we can at least be decent and get to a spot where then you're at the base and you can upgrade consistently over the next couple of years.
And I would still draft Cam Ward 1 in my scenario, but I would be just as open to go back into a trade. And like if Shedur's there at 3, I'll take Shedur.
Right.
Like if I end up not doing anything and I have to take Kyle McCord in like the 4th or 5th round, okay, whatever. It is what it is. We'll just have to roll with it.
Tyler Shock or whatever. Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is like we can love Cam Ward all we want to, but they are the ones that had him in the building for an entire day. So if they think that he's the guy, they're going to take him. If they don't, then they're going to move back. And a lot of people around the league think they are going to move back. And if I'm the Titans, I'm freaking selling that.
Yeah.
I'm selling that.
Got to. You can't let anybody know that you don't
offer?
like one of these quarterbacks, in my opinion. Specifically Cam Ward.
Who's winning tomorrow?
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting on you.
Two last word people.
I almost said it.
This is how we're late to break on 3HL all the time.
All the time.
All three of us are last
Do
word
I need
people.
to say the car's got no roof? Is that what I need to do?
Hit it.
No. The car's got no roof.
No.
Is that pretty good?
No, that was so white.
Yeah, it was.
Zach Lyons with all your white takes. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk a little SEC basketball. Mike Morgan, SEC Network and ESPN, will join us. He's got the Vandy, Georgia game coming up, and we'll talk all things SEC basketball. Final Saturday of the regular season coming up. We've got that for you next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Thanks, Zach. Want to tell you about my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Maybe you've been thinking about that next new vehicle, and maybe you're sitting in your ride right now and you wish you had a new one. It's easy. Go see Daniel Gupton and his crew. Get it done this weekend. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Just let them know what you're looking for. Maybe you need more size in your vehicle. Maybe you need more space, I guess is what I meant to say. Maybe you need something a little less expensive. Maybe something a little more reliable. Whatever you're looking for, they will be able to point you in the right direction. You can take your test drive, go inside, and they will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. We've done lots of shows up there. Bought multiple vehicles from those guys. I've seen it happen. They are phenomenal at getting you what you need in the way that you need it. So check them out, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springfield, Tennessee. 3450 Tom Austin Highway, Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
You versus an 80,000-pound truck, not a fair fight. But me versus a trucking company's lawyers, now that's a fight worth having. Trucking companies waste no time building a case against you. They've got investigators, lawyers, and insurance adjusters all working to pay you as little as possible. You don't have to take them on alone. I'm Blair Durham from Bart Durham Injury Law. We've helped thousands of people get the money they deserve after big truck crashes. Call 615-242-9000 today. Let's even the playing field because you deserve to be paid.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Thanks to Zach Lyons from Cover 2 popping on. Little Alabama and Auburn love there between Davenport and Lyons.
You mean hate? Just pure hatred?
But you both pushed that aside to talk about fixing the disaster that is the Titans roster for just a few minutes.
And we actually agreed.
with your Vandy volleyball hat on. Vanderbilt playing Tennessee tonight at Brentwood High School. Doors open at 6:15. It will sell out.
It's free.
Right.
It will fill up.
It will pack the house. Let me say that.
I heard from like a volleyball club that people are showing up at like 5 o'clock. I'm not trying to show. Well, obviously I can't, but I'm not trying to wait in line that long. Come on,
Fire Marshal Bill will be there.
No doubt.
They will shut the doors. The match starts at 7. So congrats to Vanderbilt for playing their first volleyball match in 45 years.
Crazy.
How about Anders Nelson as a coach having to sell players on coming to Vanderbilt and not play? And all they do is train and practice and redshirt.
In school.
And
like hard school.
Now they're headed toward August when the season starts. Finally.
And this is his first head coaching job, but like he was a top assistant at Kentucky. They won a national championship. Like this is a hell of a jump for him to make that decision to go restart a volleyball program.
Yeah, so doors open at 6:15, but you'll probably want to get there early. It's at Brentwood High School, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. Props to Tennessee for coming over to take part in this thing, too. And so they're going to switch it up, and Vanderbilt will go and do an exhibition prior to the season next year in Knoxville. Anders Nelson told us yesterday. Let's talk a little SEC basketball. The last Saturday of the regular season coming up tomorrow, and our guy Mike Morgan, SEC Network, ESPN, joins us now. Mike, what's up? How are you?
Brad, Dawn, my favorite sports talk show in the history of the Music City. How are you guys?
What up, Morgan?
We may have to use that.
Oh, man. You know how it is, Dawn. Another day, another random hotel room on the SEC circuit.
Yep. Where are you? Athens?
I'm in Athens, and it's so funny. You guys don't suffer this much in Nashville because even though there's always stuff going on there's a ton of hotels. But in a town like Athens, all it takes is like one convention. I think there's a veterinary convention of some kind. I don't know if they're talking about how to fix a broken paw on a bulldog or something. So,
they have one of the top vet schools around, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like every hotel room was booked, and there's not a ton of them to begin with in Athens. So thankfully, the SID, Mike Mobley, who's always looking out for us, does a great job. He put us in this Georgia Community Center hotel. And I swear, not to complain, we're happy. It's got a bed and it's got a shower. But I mean, literally, I can touch the window and the opposite wall. And I don't have an 82-inch wingspan, you know. I'm not one of these guys like on the combine that they're going to stretch out and go, oh, that's the next Abdul Carter. I'm just a regular sized guy, but this is a tight cornered room. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
that sounds like you know the horror movies that start in a hostel. That's kind of what it sounds like. Like
pretty much. I'm afraid to look under the bed.
Yeah, one eye open tonight. Man, the SEC's been fun. Like we were talking with you midway through the season, and we were talking about the grind that is that SEC schedule, and it just has not let up. And it's crazy to think about the SEC tournament coming up in Nashville next week, where we're going to have 4 Wednesday games, which is awesome. But you've probably got 3 teams that are NCAA tournament teams having to play on Wednesday, which means if they want to win the tournament, they got to win 5 games, which is going to be interesting to see how everybody utilizes their rosters during that event. But you've got Vanderbilt and Georgia. Let's start there. Coming up in Athens and Vanderbilt, what a surprise they have been this year, and great job by the staff and the players.
I think, and I'm on record as saying this, and this is no knock on Bruce Pearl, who I think might be the coach of the decade, having covered him going back to Tennessee and then taking a moribund kind of a dumpster fire program in Auburn basketball and turning them into a national power. He's done great work. Todd Golden at Florida has done great work.
Yep.
Dennis Gates at Missouri has done great
Incredible.
work.
Off the 0-18? I mean.
Off the 0-18. But here's the difference. You look at those rosters, and they are chock full of talented players, all 3 of them. Whether they go to the NBA or not, there'll be some that will. There'll be some that play overseas. But they are bona fide, proven college basketball commodities. Mark Byington takes the job at Vanderbilt. Basically, there's nobody left over from the Stackhouse era. Nobody. So he has to go ahead and basically do speed dating in the portal, right? Pick up the phone, call this guy, We got 5 minutes to convince you that Vanderbilt is the place for you. No? You got a better offer? Okay, click. Call up another guy. Hey, how about you? 5 minutes. Here's what we can offer. Do you want to be a Vanderbilt Commodore? He puts together a roster of 13 guys. You know, Hogarth's a transfer from Michigan State, a solid player. But for the most part, guys, I mean, these are transfers from mid-major programs as well as some freshmen coming in that were not exactly highly touted on the portal market or in recruiting. And he gets them last second after pulling off an upset at JMU a year ago in the NCAA tournament. They go into and I had Vanderbilt early, and I'm just looking at the roster of guys. I'm like, this is not the year in the SEC for Vanderbilt to be competitive. They were picked last. Boy, was I wrong, and boy, were the voters wrong, because if they win tomorrow, they are an absolute lock. Now, they might be able to lose and still get in. I'd rather not lose and then lose first-round SEC tournament and have to sweat it on Selection Sunday. I'd rather be able to go anxiety-free when that day comes. But the fact that they're even in the conversation and the fact that they've got a chance to get there for quite some time, to me, would be one of the best stories in college basketball. So for my money, not only is Byington the coach of the year in the SEC, I think he's done one of the best coaching jobs in all of college basketball.
So Slay and I were talking last night before he did the UAB game, and we were talking about Slay's point was Vanderbilt just didn't have any height, and so like you look going into the season. And
Aren't they all listed as guards?
They were all initially listed as guards. That's a great point. But you know what they are, Mike? They're bullies, man. I mean, you mentioned Hogard and also Jalen Carey down low.
Yes.
Like they are not pushed around, so like they can battle some of that size. Now there aren't good matchups sometimes. With anybody in basketball, and that's kind of what defines everything. But, like, if you play a Florida, their front line is ridiculous, right? Like, they have a tremendous advantage. But I've been proud of the Vanderbilt guys for just battling down low.
Absolutely. And they're one of the most undersized teams of any Power 4 program out there. I mean, they don't really have a true big. They thought they had one at the beginning of the year. He goes down with an injury. So, basically, you're turning guys like McLaughlin and Carey, who compared to the SEC Goliaths that they're going up and banging with down low every game, they're undersized. But you take a guy like McLaughlin, you know, he averages 8 rebounds a game. He's got 96 offensive rebounds a game. Sometimes it's not the bigger guy that gets the rebound, it's the quicker guy. And he's wiry enough and he's wily enough where he's able to cause problems on the offensive glass. So even though Vanderbilt always goes into the game the smaller team in this league, they don't get beat on the boards. And if they can just kind of keep it to a push, you know, that's something that Coach Byington told me a few weeks ago having one of his games. We're not going to dominate the glass, but as long as we can keep it near even, the rest of the things that they do so well, offensively, ball movement, they don't make mistakes, they don't turn it over, a great passing and shooting team, kind of like the old days. I mean, I'll go back to Eddie Fogler, who, by the way, if Coach Byington picks up the win, he'll tie the record by Eddie Fogler as a first-year head coach at Vanderbilt.
Wow.
That's been the secret to Vanderbilt basketball, right? They've never been the most physically imposing teams, but they were always a team that could skill-wise compete with the very best. And that's what he's doing this year with this group. I think it's just a remarkable job.
Who obviously there's an elite group in the league, at least right now, with Auburn, and then there's that second group with Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. Who has impressed you? Maybe leave Auburn out of this answer, but who else has impressed you?
Well, I think I'm going to extrapolate this to the country a little bit. Because,
Okay.
I mean, we all know the SEC has the best league in the country, and they're going to set a record. It's either going to be 12 or 13 bids. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we're in a no cliche zone on this show, so I'm not going to tell you that any team can win the SEC tournament. You hit on the key point. When the top teams in the country have a double bye and you've got to play 2 extra games, you're probably not winning this thing. Let's be honest. But the teams at the top, to me, Auburn, Florida, and Duke are the top 3 teams in the country. With all due respect to Houston and Iowa State, I think they're the top 3 teams in America. Like I look at the teams that can go deep in this tournament, the SEC and the NCAA, and I want to find a team that doesn't necessarily have the most strengths, but has the fewest weaknesses. And I don't see a weakness on either Florida, and I don't see a weakness on Auburn. I can nitpick and find you a weakness on Tennessee. I can find you a weakness on Alabama or Texas A&M, but I can't find one on Auburn and Florida. So to me, those two are in a class of their own. Remember, Florida went into Auburn and actually beat them by double digits and easily their best win of the year, one of the most impressive wins in college basketball. So I put those two on tier one. Now, this is what separates the SEC from everybody. The amount of good teams on tier two, whether it's Alabama, whether it's Tennessee, Missouri, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Ole Miss, nobody can even come close to those level of teams on a tier two basis. You know, the ACC will be lucky if they get 3 teams in. It's a down year in the Big East. It's not a great year in the Big 12. This is what makes this season so historic in the Southeastern Conference. We find leagues every year that have like a really good team or two at the top, but it's tier 2 in the middle of this conference and how many teams I think can make the second weekend that separates it from everybody else.
That's a great point.
Mike Morgan, at Mike Morgan Air on 3HL right now, and he's doing Vandy and Georgia coming up on Saturday. A lot of big games. Tournament time coming up and looking forward to it. So who do you have, the popular national question, and you just went national, so let's go there. Cooper Flagg or Janai Broome? Who you got?
I'm sweating with this. I know Dawn's going to kill me if I don't give the right answer, right?
Yeah, but I'm a Duke fan too, so.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
okay.
That was my team growing up because Dad graduated from there. So
Right.
our listeners like to give me a lot of crap that I have 2 basketball teams.
So if Duke and Auburn play for the national title, we got issues in this room.
Yeah, I'll cry.
And that could very well happen. So I can't wait to see Dawn just have to split her allegiance there for that night and have to anguish over who to root for. That'd be fun.
Although it'll be a good night regardless.
Well, that's true. 50% of you will be able to celebrate. The other 50% can take some Prozac or something.
Yeah, it's like George Costanza, one Dawn divided against the other.
That's right.
Exactly. I vote for the Naismith Player of the Year. I only vote for 2 things nationally every year, the Heisman and the Naismith. And I'm really struggling with this one. Much like the Heisman, I like to wait till the very last possible moment, which is the Monday after the conference championship games. And I really think that applies here. Look, Cooper Flagg, if you want to just go on best pure talent, it's not even close. I mean, Cooper Flagg's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. He as an 18-year-old,
it's crazy.
He just does things that we haven't seen in a while. I've been hearing about this kid since he was 14 in Maine. And you can't be serious. There's not a good high school player in Maine. No, Mike, I'm telling you, he's that good. Okay. And then I started seeing the highlight videos. I'm like, oh my Lord.
Yeah.
He's just built differently. So he's one of one. And Duke is a very talented team. The problem has been, this is what could hurt Cooper Flagg. The fact that the ACC is so down, he's not playing great competition. Whereas Janai Broome, game in, game out, in a historical season where Auburn has racked up more quad 1 wins than anybody in history, he has been more battle-tested. So I really think it comes down to, just like we often do when it comes down to evaluating teams and players for awards and who gets to go to the playoff, are we going to evaluate the resume or the eye test? The eye test tells me Cooper Flagg's the best player in the country. If the resume would be in favor of Janai Broome. So which one prevails? Give me a few more days, and I'll cast this. I don't know if it's the deciding vote, but I'll cast a vote one way or the other.
Yeah, I have a Naismith vote too, and a Heisman vote, and I'm well aware of that Monday deadline on the Heisman thing, and it gives Dawn anxiety because I'm sitting here during the show voting 5 minutes before it's over.
Hey, at least you vote on time. There's nothing that aggravates me more than someone who has a Heisman vote that votes the Thursday before the SEC championship game. What are you doing? That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. Well, give us a little info on what you think about Tennessee. Obviously, the big win against Alabama. And it's funny in basketball, man. I don't know how basketball coaches do it with the emotion, the quick swings of emotion, but Tennessee hits a half-court shot to beat Alabama and misses a wide-open layup to put it in overtime and Ole Miss. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. So how affected do you think they are by that Ole Miss loss?
Well, look, I think this year in the SEC, what it's taught us to go through this gauntlet of 18 games is you got to be able to flush it, to use a baseball term. When you have a loss, and no matter how good you are, nobody was going to go undefeated in the Southeastern Conference this year. And even though Auburn came the closest, they've got a couple of losses. Everybody else has a few losses, including Tennessee. I think you, especially a team that's got older players and veteran players, you wipe that out and you move on to play another day. My concern for Tennessee is the same concern I have every year. I know that Rick Barnes' teams are going to defend. I know they're going to be tough. I know they're going to be great on the glass. What made them special last year is that you had an absolute bucket getter and a guy that should have been a lottery pick in Dalton Connect that could help carry the offensive load if the rest of your guys were struggling. And at times he just put that team on his back, took them to the Elite Eight, and damn near put them in the Final Four. Chaz Lanier has to be that guy this year. I mean, he's been a terrific find, a terrific guy in the portal, but you need to have him assume that role where it's neutral courts, the games are officiated differently, and every now and then, and we've seen it for Tennessee, and Tennessee fans listening to your program, they know this, they've been frustrated at times where they go into an NCAA tournament game and the offense just doesn't perform the way it needs to. So you're going to have to avoid that pitfall, and you're going to have a guy step up when everybody else is struggling. You can't just win alone on rebounding and defense. It's always a great cliche. It's like if I told you, I tell you what, the Titans will be good this year if they block and tackle. Well, that's great, but they also need good quarterback play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you need in college basketball as well. Yeah, defense and rebounding are important. That's the blocking and tackling of the equation. But you also have to be able to score, and I want to see them get on a consistent run if they're finally going to break through and get that Final Four, which I'm a Rick Barnes fan. I would love to see it happen, but that's something that still does concern me going forward.
I think that's more than fair. Great breakdown. Mike, have a great broadcast on, tomorrow in Athens, and have fun at the Bulldog Inn or wherever you are.
Yes, I'll certainly look under the bed and make sure there's no demons of any kind there before I go to sleep.
I love it. Hey, man, thanks for coming on. Always good talking with you.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, at Mike Morgan Air does a great job. SEC Basketball Saturday is going to be fun.
He's like low-key funny.
I have stayed at the Bulldog Inn in
You
Athens.
have?
Yes. I'm not saying that's where he is. He said he was staying somewhere else. It sounded like a hostel, but
It does sound like a hostel.
But yeah, there are limited options in Athens, Georgia. Luckily, Atlanta's like 45 minutes away. But anyway, 615-737-1045 if you want in at 3HL1045. One of the quarterbacks visited today. We'll tell you who it was next. Maybe you know. We'll talk about it. 3HL1045, The Zone. I want to tell you about my friends at Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply. Check them out online, digginssupply.com. This is where you need to go to get that lawn ready for the spring and summer months. And make sure you have the best lawn in the neighborhood. Go where the pros go. Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply. Locations: Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. digginssupply.com. Spring is almost here. And Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply is ready with all the fertilizers, seeds, pre-emergence, and herbicides needed to get your property ready for the spring. They offer professional advice and know how to DIY your lawn and landscape. Go where the pros go. Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply. Whether you're trimming bushes, cutting grass, or just trying to keep weeds and insects out of your lawn and landscape, they've got it all. When you're looking for quality parts, products, and the best advice, your one-stop shop. Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply. Go where the pros go. Diggins Turf and Landscape Supply. Locations: Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. digginssupply.com. 3HL 104.5 The Zone, Mary J on a Friday. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport. Slay Dog will be back on Monday. What is he doing? I can't remember with all of his broadcast responsibilities. Do either one of you guys remember what he's up to?
I think he's in studio.
Yeah, I thought he had a studio.
Oh, he's in studio. Okay.
Or maybe he's calling a game. I don't know.
Listen, he was doing the UAB game last night, and I turned it on.
He's in
I
the
sat down.
chat.
I sat down. Oh, hey, Slay, what's up? If you want to be in the chat, talk with Slay, you can. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
The F&M Bank chat is open, and Slay is in there. So I sat down to watch a UAB game, and immediately this guy, one of the UAB guards, his name is Tony. And I'm like, I texted Slay, and I'm like, you know, every time you guys say Tony, I'm going Tony has done it again in my head. And he was like, LOL. And I go, dude, if that guy makes like 2 shots in a row, you've got to say it. And so he had it. He was going to do it.
And he never did.
Tony never did it again.
Oh,
He was an
come
okay
on,
player.
Tony.
He was an okay player. Like, he's a good player. He's a senior. He's been there forever for Andy Kennedy. I think he was the first guy that he brought in to UAB. So, you know, good role guy, but he just never got a chance to like make 2 threes in a row. But Slay Dog, I was like, dude, if you do that, like everyone listening is going to laugh.
Yeah.
That at least that's of a certain age. Because like Zeph has no idea who Tony is.
Nope.
Really?
Really.
Play him coming out of the next break. Well, the next break that you can play music. They're awesome. 615-737-1045. So Slay did an incredible job last night. That dude, and this isn't just like teammate bias, he's going to be a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, he already is one of the best analysts in college basketball. He already is.
Slay said he's calling the Mississippi State-Arkansas game.
Oh,
There you go.
Sorry, Slay.
Oh, he gets Coach Cal again.
Arkansas and Mississippi State. Yeah, Arkansas favored by 1.5. That's 11 a.m. SEC Network. You can watch Slay Dog, and maybe they have a guy named Tony also. But it also made me think there was a running back for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day named Anthony Tony.
That's pretty close.
And I was wondering, like, why his parents named him Anthony Tony, because it's Tony. I don't know. I'm weird that way. These are the things I think about when games are being done. It was a great game, and Slay Dog did an incredible job. So props to him. Coming up today, Jay Graham, former Tennessee running back, now Centennial High School football coach at 420.
Nice.
Kevin Dyson with the hire there.
This is a great hire.
He's got all kinds of college experience and was a very talented recruiter. And now going into the high school game as a head coach, this is going to be a new challenge for him.
I'm so curious why he made the decision to move to high school. You know?
Yep. I wonder if part of it was
NIL?
Maybe, or I wonder if part of it was living in Nashville.
Well, guess what? We're going to find out because we're about to talk to him.
Also, Brian Penny Collins, TSU head coach at 4:45. Tell Tyra she left her toothbrush at my house. Lenny Acuff, Lipscomb basketball coach at 5 o'clock. So we'll cover both of those teams. Both of those teams had huge wins last night, and we'll do that. Speaking of, Lipscomb advanced to the ASUN tournament final with an 81-75 win over Queens University in overtime. I watched that game. The Bisons will host North Alabama Sunday at 1 o'clock for the tournament title and a trip to the NCAA tournament. So if you want some March Madness activity, head down to Allen Arena on the campus of Lipscomb University on Sunday, 1 o'clock, and they will play for the tournament title and a trip to the NCAA tournament. TSU took out Lindenwood last night by 14 in the OVC quarterfinals. Defense was on lockdown mode. TSU plays SIUE tonight at 9:30 on ESPNU. Winner goes to the championship game of the OVC. TSU 11-3 in their last 14 games. Penny getting it done.
Penny.
So Miami quarterback Cam Ward visited with the Titans today, per Albert Breer.
We do have some Titans transaction news from Zeph as well.
We need to hit that first.
Zeph?
So, obviously, the news broke earlier today. Harold Landry getting released. They made that official. They also signed 2 players. and that is linebacker Otis Reese and defensive lineman Keandre Coburn to one-year deals. Both were scheduled to be exclusive rights free agents this offseason. Tennessee locks them up for another year.
Remember when we went through that list?
I like it. Yeah.
And we said sign those two guys.
Both of them.
Yeah. Because
Good
you
deal.
get them at the minimum. Nobody can match it or take them.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well. Otis Reese, man, that dude flies around. He's undersized at linebacker, but that man is always around the football. And then Keandre Coburn's a big guy up front. Like, those guys are hard to find, so
like
he's already
him,
here. Made sense to
what kind of step
get him
can they
down.
take this year? You know,
How much would you have loved to have been a part of Cam Ward's day with the Titans? Like, just to see what they do, how he responded.
just a fly on the wall.
Fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm. I would love it.
Could you have eliminated your star girl thing toward him?
I don't have any of that. I just think he's going to be an NFL quarterback, and I just hope the Titans don't screw it up and not take him one.
Well, he is going to be an NFL quarterback. That is true.
I'm sorry, a successful NFL
I
quarterback.
was going to say, dynamite drop it, Monty.
Yeah, let me go ahead and let me add that in.
Cam Ward is, you should make a promo out of that. Cam Ward is going to be an NFL quarterback. I got you, Babsy. As long as you're wearing that Vandy hat, I'm coming at
I'm
you.
like, you're
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
you're being a jerk, as Baby Bab says.
She says that?
Yeah, she said it at
Where'd she get jerk?
Because Mr. Babs calls one of our dogs a jerk.
Like as a name? Like
Yes.
the dog's name now is jerk to him?
Is jerk. He's a jerk. And so then we're going to drop off said dog at doggy daycare. And I take Baby Babs in with me to drop him off. She always likes to see the cats there. And there was another woman in there, and she's like, oh, he's so cute. And she said, no, he's a jerk. I was like, okay. I was like, sorry. Ugh.
This child, man.
Yeah.
She's going to run the country one day.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah.
My friend Ken Newton.
You're a jerk.
Yeah. My friend Ken, I am. My friend Ken Newton wanted to have a dog named Damn It. Damn it, go outside. Damn it, get back in here.
How perfect would that be for some dogs?
Yeah. So you're down to 3. Are you going to get another one?
What? No, we're down to 2.
Oh, geez. That's right. You are down to 2. I forgot about that one. That one happened
Coco
over the
and
weekend, so we didn't pay proper attention to it. And I apologize to you for that.
Yes.
And I'm sorry.
That's okay. We miss them. Coco and Charlie are running and playing in heaven. So now we have 2. And no, are you crazy?
Is life easier? I mean, with all due respect to the dogs that have passed.
Well, here's the problem. The 2 that passed were the ones that Mr. Babs brought into the marriage. They were also the well-behaved dogs. I know this shocks you. The 2 that are left are mine, and they are not necessarily the best behaved dogs.
I love this story. Oh, that's such a cute dog. No, he's a jerk.
Yeah.
From the what is she? 5, 4?
4. Yeah. So yeah. Meh. Maybe we'll change his name to Damn It.
So y'all want to hear something interesting?
Yes.
That I just happened to find while scrolling Twitter while y'all were talking. So Jeremy Fowler on ESPN.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Whoa, both of us now jerks. Okay.
So Jeremy Fowler on ESPN talking about a potential veteran quarterback option that the Titans could look into. And here's what he had to say.
Before Mina and Bill make their plans here, what are you hearing about the plans for quarterback there for the Titans?
Yeah, Laura, so I do expect the Tennessee Titans to snag a veteran quarterback in this market. They're gauging that interest right now over the weekend, planning for free agency. I don't sense that it will be that top of market Sam Darnold type player. Could be a mid-tier type option. Maybe even like a Zach Wilson type player who's been a backup, who's still got some upside they could bring in. Because most people around the league still do expect that Miami quarterback Cam Ward will be firmly on Tennessee's radar and could be the pick at number 1. If you do that, they just need somebody to hold down the fort for a year. They don't feel like they're in contention playoff style right now. They got a year or 2 to build this thing.
Of course they do.
So,
I mean, that's dead on. But Zach Wilson is not a name you need to be throwing out for Titans fans.
I mean, that is 100% what we've been talking about. They're going to show their cards during free agency. If they go Zach Wilson level free agent quarterback, they're drafting Cam Ward number 1. No question.
1,008 million %.
Right?
No doubt.
I hope it's not Zach Wilson.
Oh God.
That's not the level. That is like
why
a
did
tier
he have
under.
to pick that?
No, this is why he
to
doesn't
throw
want Zach
out?
Wilson, because Zach Wilson beat Tennessee in the last minute of a game one year.
Oh, he did. Oh, I forgot about that. You know, Zach Wilson has a
That's
better.
not why.
You know, Zach Wilson has a better win percentage than both Aaron Rodgers and Sam Darnold on the Jets.
Well, you said on the Jets.
Yeah, and all three of them are in the 300s. Well, actually, Aaron Rodgers is in the 200s.
They're
but
all garbage.
They're really bad.
With the Jets.
It's really bad.
Remember, Zach Wilson got benched, and then he came back, and they played him one game, and he threw for like 300-something yards and 4 touchdowns and won. That guy's entertaining to me, too, because here's another guy that you have no idea what you're going to get when you put him on the field.
Yeah, no,
Him,
that's
Will Levis, Jameis Winston, Garoppolo, bring all these dudes.
also, if you notice what Fowler said there, he said to hold them over for a year, assuming that, you know, whatever one of these guys is going to like start for the entire year, and Cam Ward, if they draft Cam Ward at number 1, is going to sit for a whole year.
God help us all if Zach Wilson starts for an entire year.
I don't think, first off, if you go that level of quarterback, there's no way in hell that they're going to make it a full year. No way. Brian Callahan's going to be fighting for his job. He's going to be fighting for his job like halfway through the season and be like, all right, put the rookie in. There's no way they make it through a full year.
Let me find my list of 20 quarterbacks that we went through the other day and see where Zach Wilson is on this list from Spot
We
Track.
never even brought him up. No,
I know.
actually, he was at the bottom, and you said it in passing as we were going to break.
So I stopped on 17, and that was Cooper Rush because he's going to go back to Dallas. And then it was Mason Rudolph, Jarrett Stidham, and Zach Wilson. I was
He
like,
was
we don't
literally
need,
last.
we don't even need to talk about
You
this
literally
guy.
said it, like, named him 3 and was like, okay, we won't even talk about that. All right, this is 3HL 1045. You know, that
Zach-
was not
Zach-
even a
Zach
conversation.
Wilson.
Why did he throw out Zach Wilson?
I'd rather
don't
have
know.
Zach Lyons play quarterback for the Titans than Zach Wilson.
Okay, hold on.
Listen, man, Zach Lyons wouldn't be afraid.
Hey,
He'll
is
fling
Jimmy
it.
G? Where's Jimmy G on that list?
He's probably in Arizona. I don't know. I always go back to the same joke with him. Where is Jimmy G on this list? He was listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this list.
Okay.
Ahead of Jacoby Brissett, who one ESPN writer has
Thank
as
goodness.
the Titans starting quarterback next year. I mean, the options are incredible. Will Levis did this to all of us by not turning out.
So DHB in the chat says, and we can hit this after the break, if suffering through Zach Wilson means drafting Cam Ward, do you sign Zach if you're a Titans fan? Do you sign Zach Wilson if it means you get Cam Ward?
If you sign Zach Wilson, I think you're signing him to be a backup to a rookie. That's what I think.
If you sign Zach Wilson, you might as well run it back with Will Levis.
Thank you. I'm aboard. Look at that. Babs and I agreed.
And that makes me want to vomit.
It makes you a jerk, too. If I'm a jerk, you're a jerk because we just agreed. It makes you want to vomit. What does that sound like? It's my favorite Davenport sound effect. All right, more 3HL, 4 o'clock hour coming up. Remember, Jay Graham coming up at 4:20. But when we come back, we can talk more about that. What do you think? Zach Wilson, 615-737-1045.
Hey, are you a homeowner out there that is creating your dream space? Well, guess what? You need to look no further than Ferguson Home. They have the best selection of bath, of kitchen, of lighting, all of it for any of your home projects. And maybe you're not sure where to start. Maybe you don't know how to go get that beautiful finished project for whatever you're doing in your home. You can let Ferguson Home help. Book an appointment at your local showroom. Get firsthand knowledge and personalized experts to help you every single step of the way. And I'll tell you where the showrooms are. 401 South Mount Juliet Road in Mount Juliet. That one's awesome. They also have one on Powell Avenue in Nashville, a showroom in Murfreesboro, Clarksville, and Bowling Green. Let Ferguson help you bring your vision to life. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home. That's where it all comes together. If you want to get a hold of them, easy to go check them out on their website. That's fergusonhome.com.
Good afternoon. It is 4:02. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. News today for the Titans. They are releasing edge rusher Harold Landry. Landry, a 2018 second-round pick and a 2021 Pro Bowl selection, accumulated 50.5 sacks with the Titans. He was the longest tenured Titan remaining on the roster, spending 7 seasons with the team. Also today, the Titans signed linebacker Otis Reese IV and defensive lineman Keandre Coburn, who were both scheduled to be exclusive rights free agents to 1-year deals. Tennessee baseball begins a 3-game series against St. Bonaventure tonight. The Vols enter the weekend as one of just 5 unbeaten teams remaining in Division I college baseball. First pitch is at 5 p.m. as lefty Liam Doyle takes the mound for the Vols. In college hoops on Saturday, the Vols will take on South Carolina at Food City Center for Senior Day and the regular season finale. Tip-off is at 1 p.m. You can catch the Vol Network call the game right here on The Zone starting at 12:30. For your foundation repair and whatever your needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5, the Zone Friday edition. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great one. Weekend is here. Last Saturday of regular season basketball.
There we go. God, I feel like it's flown by.
I've got some of the point spreads. Number 19, Kentucky at number 15, Missouri. Missouri by 4.5, 11 a.m. ESPN. 25, Mississippi State at Arkansas. Arkansas by 1.5, 11 a.m. SEC Network. Slay Dog on the call there. Vanderbilt at Georgia. Do not have a point spread for that one yet. We will get it 11 a.m. ESPNU. South Carolina at number 4, Tennessee. Tennessee a 15.5 point favorite. They're doing senior day after the game, just like Kim Caldwell did. I don't know that I like that.
So I was looking at the tournament and the standings. Tennessee needs to win, take care of it. They'll be a 3 seed. But if they lose, they better hope that Ole Miss also loses, who's playing number 3 Florida right now, because then Tennessee will drop out of the double bye if they lose and Ole Miss wins.
Ooh, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, because what I read yesterday was if Tennessee beats South Carolina, they're double bye.
Yeah, I'm saying if they lose, though, and Ole Miss wins, they'll drop out of the double bye.
I don't think there's a scenario where Tennessee loses to South Carolina. Do you?
I mean, shoot, you never know.
Not at home. If it was at South Carolina, like South Carolina does not play well on the road.
Yeah.
South Carolina has what, like two wins in the SEC?
Yeah.
Both at home.
They absolutely should not.
Yeah, they're 2-15 in league play.
Yeah.
So if Tennessee loses to a 2-15 conference record South Carolina team on senior day at home, might as well not even host senior day after the game.
I'm going to agree with you there, Zeph. I'm going to agree with you. Just cancel it.
Tennessee is 7-1 at home. The only loss was Kentucky.
And that was a team they just did not match up well with.
They did not. That is true. But every Tennessee fan, when they hear me say there's really no scenario where Tennessee loses to South Carolina, is like, shut up.
They're screaming, stop.
Shut up, Mayor.
Well, if you said that to Slay would be like, yep, you're right. Because he doesn't get BVS, but
no, he doesn't.
Tennessee fans out there, they have it.
Number 7, Alabama at number 1, Auburn. Auburn an 8.5 point favorite at home.
That's a big line.
That's a big number.
But it is at home.
Number 22, Texas A&M at LSU. Aggies by 5.5 on the road, 3 o'clock SEC Network. The Alabama-Auburn game's at 1:30 on ESPN for some reason. Ole Miss at number 5, Florida. Florida by 11.5, 5 o'clock SEC Network. And then the night game is Oklahoma at Texas, 7 o'clock SEC Network. Somebody messed this one up. I guess they didn't have a late ESPN window, so they put it on ESPN. And the window they had was 1:30, I guess. So there we go. 615-737-1045. Calvin in Houston next up on 3HL. Calvin, what's up?
Hey. What's going on, Phil? How y'all doing?
What's happening in
Calvin.
H-Town, Calvin?
Hey, Babsy. Looking beautiful, baby. How you been?
Thanks, Calvin. I've been good. Appreciate you.
Hey, man. Hey, no, I just want y'all, me being here in Houston, I don't want nobody to sleep on U of H, okay? because my thing is with this tournament thing and then the March Madness, I really do think that the Final Four, I really do think it comes down to guard play. That's just my opinion. And I think Houston has, with Cryer coming back, literally crying last year. Y'all remember that?
Calvin, you're a trip, man.
I'm just telling you, man. I'm just feeding facts. I watch little things, guys. I'm sorry. Have you seen him lately? That guy is on a mission right now. So my thing is guard play. Now, I love Duke, Baz.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I love some Duke. Man, that guy, Cooper gonna be, I don't know, be a player of the year or whatever like that already.
He probably will be, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So when you got if you got somebody like that down there in that paint, to me, the guards and there's got to be a wing that steps up with Duke. They'll win it all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right. It's going to be matchup with them. Like if they matched up with, let's say they played Florida in the Elite Eight or something, Florida's front court might have something to say about Flagg and Knipple. And I still don't know why his name is Knipple, and it drives me crazy because there's no I in that name. So why do we have to say the word nipple all the time with that dude?
Oh, my gosh.
It drives me crazy.
Hey, bro. Hey, I can tell you why. You know why? Because I'm a Florida State fan, and a Gator got nipples that I can suck on. Now, that wasn't illegal, right? That I didn't cuss.
Nope, you're good, Calvin.
Zeph just asked, should I dump that? I guess the answer is if you have to ask Zeph, maybe you do it.
Look here. No, I'm going to be the one to tell you right now, Florida's not going to the Final Four. I'll bank you. You can bank that right
now.
Well,
look, I don't have any love for them either. That's why I put that game in the Elite Eight. That's literally what I was thinking about while that sentence was coming out of my mouth.
Hey, bro, but I'm going to tell you something right now. Don't let nipple, whatever his name, Sweet 16, and then that's a wrap. They gone. I'm just telling you right now, bro. They're overrated. I'm just telling you that right now. They are.
Calvin, you're on one today, man.
No, I'm just being real with y'all because y'all always talk mess about, oh, well, he cusses all the time and he can't never come on this show. No, I haven't cussed once today. And I'm just being real with y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to be Duke. I'm going to tell you my Final Four, and then I'm going to hang up and y'all going to say something.
All right.
My Final Four is this.
All
okay,
right.
Listen, look it up now.
All right.
It's going to be Duke. It's going to be U of H.
Yeah.
It's going to be Auburn.
Yeah.
And then that last one, big dog, man, I hate to say it. It's going to be Alabama, bro.
What? Wow.
That's my Final Four. So y'all can book it. I'm going to call y'all back and let you know what's up when it happens.
Okay.
Justin.
Love you guys. Hey, and one more thing.
Hang on,
one more thing before I leave. One more thing before I leave. I miss Slay Dog. I wish he was there. I'm in the building. See y'all later.
See you, Calvin. That is my favorite goal of the month right there.
I don't even know what to do with any of that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. I mean, I didn't even know he was a Florida State fan. Did y'all?
No, I had no idea. I knew he's in Houston. I thought he was a Houston fan.
Calvin, we have had to run Calvin a couple times, unfortunately, because he is really funny. Oh, man. Justin says, as a Florida fan with nipples, my Gators going to the Natty.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you think Jay Graham's listening to the show right now? He went, what show did I agree to be on?
He's like, I'm about to go on this Shiano show? Oh, my gosh.
DHB says, Calvin, what the hell?
What the hell? It's 3HL.
Vashawn said, pulled over with tears in my eyes.
Calvin, that was...
J83 says, he's trying to milk an alligator?
Oh,
man. That was
good. That was good.
Glad you approve. With your Vandy volleyball hat on. What did I... Oh, SEC stat. This is a good time to work this stat in there. Went all over Twitter. 13 SEC teams have more ranked wins this season than does number 2 ranked Duke. 13.
Take that, Dawn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know why?
You
because
can't help it.
They're playing each other, and they're all ranked.
Yeah.
You know? Duke's over there in the ACC, and the ACC sucks this year.
It's true. It's true.
So what would Duke have been if they were in the SEC? What level would they be? Would they be that second tier behind Auburn? They certainly would have more losses.
Yeah,
I think that's a good question.
I think they'd be in that Tennessee, Alabama tier in the SEC. So you'd have.
I agree.
So you'd have Auburn 1.
You do?
I think they'd be.
I don't.
I think they'd be. You think they'd be ahead of them?
Yeah.
You think they'd be above or below Florida?
See,
Above.
I've got Auburn, and then I've got Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee kind of in that next level.
That's how I have it.
And I think Duke would be in that level.
At the top end of that level, but in that level.
Top end.
Certainly ahead of Texas A&M.
I mean, guess what? We're going to see at some point in this tournament.
What a crazy league, too. Texas A&M loses 4 in a row, and then
beats Auburn.
Beats Auburn. Like, what are we doing out here? And you know, college basketball fan around the country that doesn't like the SEC can't wait for the SEC to just start dropping games in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
They can't wait. All right, former Tennessee running back Jay Graham, now the new head football coach at Centennial High School, next on 3HL.
Homeowners, it is time to start fresh in 2025, right? Loan Pronto is here to help you do it. Take control of your finances, lower your house payment, and consolidate nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? That's because Roger Moore, the owner, the founder of Loan Pronto, awesome dude, he decided that you don't need to be buried in paperwork to be able to do this. He said there needs to be an easier way. There has to be a better way. And so he just simplified the process. And the best part, the rates, his ability to get you, the consumer, the lowest rate. Loan Pronto right now has some of the most competitive offers for refis, for debt consolidation, for purchase loans, starting in the low 5s even. So if your current rate's over 6%, jump in, don't settle, lock in your lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks. And you could even skip your next 2 house payments. Fast, easy, hassle-free, no hard credit pull, and there's no upfront fees with Loan Pronto. You can start the whole process online, loanpronto.com, or just call them 615-499-5780, loanpronto.com at 499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
You versus an 80,000-pound truck, not a fair fight. But me versus a trucking company's lawyers, now that's a fight worth having. Trucking companies waste no time building a case against you. They've got investigators, lawyers, and insurance adjusters all working to pay you as little as possible. You don't have to take them on alone. I'm Blair Durham from Bart Durham Injury Law. We've helped thousands of people get the money they deserve after big truck crashes. Call 615-242-9000 today. Let's even the playing field because you deserve to be paid.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Rolling through a Friday where the Titans have released Harold Landry, longest tenured player on the team.
Which is crazy because it doesn't even feel like he's been here that long. I guess because of the injury seasons.
Whoops.
7 years, though. 7 years.
Funny how many times you have to hit mute. Yes, 2022, he lost that season with the ACL. Mm-hmm. And then 2023 and 2024, let's see, spent 6 seasons with the Titans, accumulated 6 seasons of playing.
Right.
Because he missed a season.
He's been here 7 years.
He's been here 7 years, yes.
Seasons, yeah.
Accumulated 50.5 sacks in 98 games played, tore his ACL in September of 2022, missed that season. He had 19 and a half sacks in the next 2 seasons, 9 sacks last year. But here's where it gets weird because he had 9 sacks, but, like, how often did you notice him as a playmaker on the defense?
Never. Okay, that's harsh. Maybe not never, but not very often.
He had at least 1 sack in 8 games, meaning there were 9 games where he did not have a sack, right?
Yep.
He also had 3 sacks in the first 2 games. So 3 of the 9 came in the first 2 games. That means 6 in the next 15. So maybe that's why we didn't notice him as much. But great dude. Wish him the best for sure. And Titans are moving on.
Big Jeff tweeted, Shiano crazy, laugh out loud. Going to miss playing with my brother, 58. Go continue to do work.
That's the hardest part of professional sports, I think, is the guys coming in and out of a locker room. And you develop a relationship and you basically go to war with each other and then, boom, gone. So
it's a business.
It is a business. Let's welcome in former Tennessee running back Jay Graham, who is now the head football coach at Centennial High School. Jay, what's up, man? How are you?
Nothing much. Just getting ready to go to spring practice, but trying to figure out where my office is, find out everything in the building. So doing everything all at once.
Just go in the hall and yell out "Miracle Man" and see where Kevin Dyson is. And
there you go.
How did this come about, man? I know you've spent a lot of time in the college game coaching. How did this come about? Why into high school football now, and why here?
Really, I've always loved, and I don't just say that, but I've always loved high school football. You know, and I talk a lot with my mentor from high school, Clement Fleming, and I always wanted to go back to high school. So I did come back to ETSU, but when this opportunity came up, I was really interested in it, probably drawn to it by Kevin Dyson and what he's done, post-football, in his post-football career, getting his PhD, he's coached, he worked his way up, assistant principal to principal, in the school system. So, those are things that I always pay attention to, especially with players of his, there was a player of his caliber in the NFL and what he's done after that. So
you mentioned Dice. What was his selling point to you to take this job at his school?
Really, I was trying to self, I think the biggest thing that sold me was when he said this at the beginning of the interview: we need more than a football coach.
Yeah.
Because that's me. That's what I want to be. That's what I strive to be every day, is more than a football coach, to whoever I'm coaching, to whoever's around the program. So it kind of fit me, so people go, well, why Centennial? That's it right there. I think it's the culture there and the people there and what they want out of their football team and coach.
Love that. So did NIL and the college world, what it is now and what it's kind of turned into, did that play into your decision to go to the high school ranks at all?
Does it play into it? No.
Okay.
Do things come up that affect it? Affect your coaching sometimes? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because you're coaching a young man and, he moves on because of the financial situation, right? Mm-hmm. And, you can't tell a young man not to take it.
Right.
You got to coach him up. And my biggest thing was I'm going to coach you and try to, get you as much money as I can get you through coaching you,
Yeah.
If you want to go get more money down the hall, you need to talk to those guys. But that was the biggest thing. We didn't discuss those things. I didn't discuss them with the player per se, but I've talked about just trying to develop. So it is. It's all around college football. And, the room that you're coaching, it probably will change.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Hey, Jay, let's do this. You're kind of popping in and out. Let Zeph call you right back, and then we'll get you back on because I want to make sure everyone hears everything you're saying. All right, man? Zeph, go ahead and call him back. I think that was an interesting point you brought up, and one we'll go deeper into with him because now you go into high school football. So guys that want to develop players and are into player development might be more intrigued in the high school game now because that's, it goes on a certain level in college, but to Jay's point, like you don't know when you're going to lose a guy.
Right. Well, and honestly, also that I think kind of goes with it is, you might develop a guy in college and have him for a season and, make him better and give him an opportunity to go make money somewhere else. And then you lose the relationship. I mean, not lose completely if you're close, you know what I mean? But you lose that relationship in high school. You have the opportunity to build those relationships, and really impact these kids. So really interesting to see the move to high school.
Right, because Jay Graham was known as a recruiter in the college football world. So it's interesting to hear his take on that. All you can do is what he said. Like at some point, just decide, look, I'm going to develop you while you're here. And I'm going to coach you while you're here. And you're my guy while you're here. And if you don't want to be, then you go talk to the other guy. I thought that was a great point. Jay Graham, the new high school football coach at Centennial High School, Zeph, working to get him back on. And I talked with Kevin Dyson about it the other day, and he's so excited about Jay. And he said, we had a few guys that we were talking to, but once I got to talking with Jay, like I just knew this was the guy. And I think a lot of it is you could kind of hear what Jay was saying, and what's important to him is being more than a football coach, because that's certainly what Dyson always was, right? Like, and that's why he ended up as a principal. So
Dr. Dice.
They end up in line. Zeph?
Efforting.
Maybe Dr. Dice needs to get him a new cell. Add that one in. Is this Dyson's first football coach hire?
I don't remember. I should have asked him that when
head coach.
Sorry, Babs. I'm trying to effort something here too.
Live radio, folks.
It's not going well. Not going to lie. I know that Mayor wants Jay Graham back on, too, to talk to him about some of those Tennessee teams back in the day.
I want people in the area to, kind of understand, his background and what this guy was
and who he is.
Elite high school football player. And he was coming out of North Carolina, and he was 5-star, maybe the number one running back in America, I think, and chose to go to Tennessee. And Tennessee had a mob at running back when he decided to go there and didn't really become full-on starter guy until his junior year. And that year he averaged 131 yards per game. And that's 1995 when year two for Peyton Manning. Tennessee went down to Alabama and beat the Tide in Birmingham and routed them. And then 96, they beat Alabama again in Knoxville, and Jay Graham had kind of the home run shot, 79-yard touchdown that helped Tennessee win. So, yeah, we'll get to know him a little bit better when we get the phone situation worked out. Do you have any more information, Zeph, as you continue to effort?
No. Sorry.
Thank you, Zeph. Broadcast skills really paying off.
Way to keep us informed. Just nailing it.
I saw this today. Trey Hendrickson. There was a piece from Nick Shook with NFL.com. 8 potential landing spots for Bengals Pro Bowl defensive end, Trey Hendrickson. Okay? Incredible player. 17.5 sacks last year, 17.5 the previous year.
Super productive.
And he wants to be traded. That news came out yesterday. We started talking about it. In terms of all of the Vegas things, the Titans aren't even near the list of sniffing Trey Hendrickson.
The one team on that list I don't want him to go to is the Indianapolis Colts.
That's team number 8 on Nick Shook's list. Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Los Angeles Chargers, Atlanta Falcons, Washington Commanders, Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, Indianapolis Colts. Those are the 8.
He's got ties over there at the Colts now.
Yes, he does. Although his wife just graduated from Lipscomb, right?
Last year with her...
All kinds of degrees. It was
Yeah.
pharmacy, I think, and healthcare.
Pharmacy, yes.
Which that's what Nashville is. Jay, you with us?
Yes, I'm back.
Hey, man.
Hey, there we go.
So I thought Dawn's question was interesting, along with your answer in terms of play. It led my mind down to player development, and you were talking about your desire to be more than just a football coach, and it's interesting when you're in college, it's really hard to develop players now, right? Like with the transfer portal and all those things. So all you can do is what you can do in the moment. But on the high school level, you can really see your progress over a 4-year period, you know?
Yes, you know, teaching them everything from stance to how to play the game and how to be a competitor and how to control your emotions. All those things, you know, kind of build up. You know, you pour into a football player, you know, to make them better. But his mindset towards the team initiative is also a part of that.
So let's let Middle Tennessee get to know you a little bit. All right. So elite high school player, number 1 running back in America, 5-star player. Why did you choose Tennessee coming out of Concord, North Carolina?
Coach Philip Former, came to my house. I think it was the last week you could visit. He could take the coaches could come out and see you. And he sat on the couch and he was able to just articulate what it meant to be. It wasn't VFL at that time, but a Tennessee player, right?
Yes.
And he talked about all the greats, but he also described the school, you know, coming in with the desire and how they mold you into a man, you know. And I think that was something that was big to me. I wanted to be in that type of environment. You know, I was young. You know, I went to Tennessee. I had just turned 18 years old, so you know, I had a lot to learn, and coaching was really important to me. So I wanted to go where it was hard, right? I went there and they had, James Little Man Stewart,
they had a mob.
Aaron Hayden, all those guys. I thought I was better than those guys, by the way.
Well, of course you did. That's why you
I was
went
like,
there.
well, I'm not. I'm not stronger than him. I'm not faster than him. You know, I had to work on it. So, but that part of it, he was able to articulate all those things, and you know, that was big for me. You know, his relationship and his understanding of Tennessee and how he could, you know, give me that picture, and it was true. You know, Tennessee gave me all those things that he said, and he gave me even more. He's still my mentor to this day.
So that 1995 season, just incredible. And you averaged more than 130 yards per game. The win at Alabama, I was in the end zone in the stands, and Joey Kent goes play number 1 for the touchdown. Yes. Do you remember like what was called in the huddle and how that play? Because we've talked to Joey about this. We've talked to Peyton about this. I haven't talked to you about this. Like from your perspective, how did you see that play unfold?
I didn't think it was going to be an 80-yard touchdown. You know, but they were playing a defense where the outside backer had to get out to Joey, right? And, you know, it was a little bit different because Peyton was in the eye. You know, he's underneath center. And a lot of teams didn't do that, and we were spreading them out. But that pass was on the money, but that catch was phenomenal in the run. And I was just chasing behind him. I was like, oh, he made that guy miss. Oh, he might go all the way. So I'm just sprinting behind him. You know, I don't know why. I'm just excited. Like I'm watching it on TV. You know, I think I had the best view in the stadium. I was just watching him run, and it was just so exciting that first play because it was just all, you know, it's been 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, to start off that way was big for us because we were young. You know, we didn't know, you know, people didn't expect us to play that well, but, you know, we were close-knit and, you know, we wanted to play hard for each other. So that was a big night.
You had a memorable run against Alabama the next year in a tight football game, and here's the play-by-play of this 79-yarder.
2nd and 12. Graham, gaping hole. Graham breaks the tackle.
How about that? That's Jim Nance, who lives in Nashville, on that call right there. But that was a gaping hole. Offensive lineman into the second level, free reign, and just planted a linebacker. Now, you did have to outrun some angles and then outrun the secondary. But, man, that was an incredible play.
Yes. I mean, it's not many plays that are perfect like that. I mean, you arrive at the hole, and at the same time, it's just like, and they were really good on defense. I think Dwayne Rudd was a linebacker. And it was kind of a little specialty play because he was so fast low. And it didn't really work out that way. So it was about trust. I was hitting it full speed, trusting the guys, and then it was phenomenal, two phenomenal blocks, Spencer Riley and Eric Lane. Those were two great blocks right there. And I mean, I always say nobody really touched me, I don't think. So it's great when you can run through there as a running back against, one of the top defenses in the country and nobody touch you.
I think one of their safeties took a bad angle because he misjudged your speed, and you broke that angle quickly.
Yeah, it was a big play, but it was all of us, all 11 players. That's what made it special.
And that was a 4-quarter win for sure. So you were there when Peyton Manning and Brandon Stewart came in.
Yes.
Was there a distraction level at all, or like what do you remember from that season?
Well, originally when they came in, we knew they were the future, but Jerry Colquitt was the quarterback, right?
Incredible guy.
That 94 season, incredible guy, incredible leader. He was going to have a phenomenal season, and that was heartbreaking that night at UCLA when he tore his ACL. 7 plays
into his senior season. He waited all that time to be the guy.
Yeah, and I just remember Peyton and Brandon. And, they're like polar opposites, right?
Yeah.
Brandon, Peyton, he came in there like knocking door to door in the summertime. Hey, who wants to throw? Get away from my door, freshman. And he was like going down. He was like on it, right? So he have you out there. If he didn't have enough receivers, he'll stand a running back out there on the numbers and throw the ball. He worked. And Brandon was like, he'll work. Don't get me wrong. He was the typical freshman, right? He wanted to go water skiing a little bit, have a little fun in the summer. But Brandon was a phenomenal athlete. So, when Jerry went down, we played Florida that next week, and they had the number 1 defense. That's a tough game, And I think Peyton went in that UCLA game and did well, but it was great to see those guys, both of them matured throughout the season, and Brandon, he could use his legs, he could throw the ball well, but after about the 6th game, you knew, probably Mississippi State game, we lost that game, but you could see that Peyton was going to be the guy.
The throw that I was at that game too. The throw that showed me like it matters, but was the out route to Kendrick Jones.
Exactly. That's the one. I think everybody saw that. And it was like, whoa. Because that's a hard throw, and it was on the money. And if it wouldn't have been on the money, it probably would have been pick
6.
Yeah. So it was a phenomenal throw, and He was always, and the thing about Peyton, he never changed. From that, when he was like that excitement and that passion and knocking door to door, when I left, he was a junior doing the same thing. That's just him. That's who he is. And it's great. It's great when you've got players around you like that. That you talk about culture. He helped me so much. And I helped him, but just that. He helped me more than I helped him myself. So, just the way he played the game and the way he prepared.
Now, as a head coach, and especially, with high school impressionable kids, do you utilize stories of Peyton and that work ethic and culture and all of that when you're developing your own players?
I think so. You've got to be careful to make sure it comes up, like I always say, naturally, organically as situations, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember sitting as a player and then hearing these guys, and they, from the 60s, you don't think about it that way, but we're old
That's
now.
True.
And then we're like, who is that? that? I think we knew more than they did, They do now today. So I really try to relate, as far as you can give them way more information, but you better hurry up. And so your meetings and how you talk to them and how you get to the point has to relate and they have an understanding of where you're coming from. So, I mean, it's still the same way. It's still the same thing, but, teaching them and relating to different situations. But they relate to the newer players, the Saquon Barkleys and the newer guys now. So I try to use those examples and help them realize, those guys are great athletes, but they weren't born that way. They had to work to get there.
Yeah.
So we always, talk about that and, putting in the work and it can work for you. So.
Well, Jay, it's good to hear your voice, man. I'm glad to have you in town. I know a lot of people are going to be following Centennial High School and what you guys are able to do over there. Congrats on the new gig. And just to let people listening know, me and Jay used to do a show back in 2003, and Jay would come on weekly and didn't have to. You were in the pro game at that point. But always appreciated that, brother.
Well, thank you. And, hey, call me anytime. I'd love to talk about sports. I listen to you guys. You guys do a great job of just, your understanding of the game, and you guys ask some good questions and answer some good questions.
Yeah, we'll get you in studio when Slay Dog's in here, and
where's Slay Dog? I know he's bringing that energy, huh? I watch you guys. Y'all are pretty good now.
I love it. No, we'll bring you in. He'll put you in the boom boom room, and your life will never be the same.
Uh-oh. Tell him he got to make some barbecue for me because he's always showing these videos. I think somebody else is cooking that stuff, and he just get in there the video at the end.
Oh yeah,
it looked pretty good.
We'll clip this. Thank you, Jay. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
How about that, Jay Graham? I love that you found that clip, and I love that it was Jim Nantz on the call.
That's awesome.
That reminded me, when my senior year of college, I produced high school football, and Jay Graham was the analyst at the Sports Animal over in Knoxville.
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I see
we'll
why
get him in here.
Dice hired him.
Yep. Coming up next, TSU with a huge win last night and a big opportunity coming up tonight. TSU basketball coach Brian Penny Collins joining us from Evansville on game day. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
You can't wait for this year's college basketball tournament, right? I mean, none of us can wait. Zen Sports can't wait either, and they have you covered with the VIP Players Club Big Bucket Sweepstakes. You can earn bonus bets on the tourney just by using the Zen Sports app right here in the month of March. And this sweepstakes, it's exclusive to us right here in Tennessee. Grand prize, a $10,000 bonus bet on the championship game or a $5,000 cash prize. And 20 additional winners get a $100 bonus bet or a $50 cash prize. How about that? How do you earn entries every day? Bet on Zen Sports app. You get an entry per dollar wagered, an entry per bet. And if you want more, you get 500 bonus entries if you use my code to sign up for Zen Sports for the first time. And that code is DAWNTN, DAWNTN. Head over to zensports.com/sweepstakes for contest terms and conditions. Zen Sports, where betting just got better. We'll have some fun March. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Qualifying wager for a wager entry must have minimum odds for any leg of the entry of at least 250 or worse American odds. Head to zensports.com/sweepstakes for terms and conditions. You got to be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Our thanks to Jay Graham, former Tennessee running back, and now the head football coach at Centennial High School. Be fun watching his success like I watched TSU last night take out Lindenwood. 69-55 in the OVC quarterfinals in Evansville.
Yeah, you were texting us updates on that one.
I was all over ESPN Plus last night. I love that you have access to any game you want to watch.
Whenever.
That's right. Brian Penny Collins, head coach at TSU, joins us now. Coach, what's up? How are you, man?
Man, what's up, man? After that long night, man, I'm doing pretty good. Been really rested, ready to go today.
Well, let's start there. So you played the late game last night. Now you don't play until 9:30. Like as a coach, and you want some sort of level of symbiotic time flow. But 9:30 tip, how hard is that? I hate the word hard. How challenging is that as a coach to get ready?
Well, it's different. We have a lot of free time today, so we watched film. We watched film already. We're gonna watch it again here in about an hour. We've got a pregame meal coming up here in about an hour. So it's a different day. It's a little longer. Guys got a chance to sleep in a little bit. We got them had shoot around already as well. So guys be ready to go, man. We're definitely gonna be resting. You shouldn't have any excuses with a whole 24 hours of a rest instead of like having to play this morning at 2. That would have been hard, but 24 hours of rest is good.
I always have suggestions for coaches that are in strange towns in terms of what you can do with your team. Yesterday, we talked to Casey Alexander, and I told him, look, man, you just take your Belmont team over to the Budweiser distributorship in a tour. And then I got to thinking, Belmont, Budweiser, that probably doesn't go together. And then my suggestion for you as you were talking about it was, man, you go to the casinos in Evansville.
Oh, yeah, that would go over real well.
Man, what about every year that we've been in OVC tournament, we stay in Bally's, which is a hotel that has a casino in it.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm real used
That's
to
where I stay.
Real used to that and cigarette smoke.
Did you hear Babs?
That's where I stay, Coach, when I go gamble in Evansville.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this year we got the third seed, so we don't have to experience that, but it is a lot to do here. But we pretty much stay at the hotel the entire time.
So 9:30 on ESPNU tonight. I don't have to get it onto my phone or my apps and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. How do you keep focus on the task at hand? Because with a win, you get a pretty good little opportunity.
Man, well, our season has been an interesting one. We've had a lot of injuries, been up and down, and now that we're back kind of somewhat healthy, we felt like we left a lot of dip on our chip. Let me say that. We've had a lot of games where we felt like we left food on the table. So we're really not at a place right now where we're like, oh, we're just so full and we've accomplished what we need to accomplish by just making it here. No, this is definitely not even close to being enough of what our expectations are. Even with 15 new guys, we expected to be playing tonight. And we expect to contend for our OVC championship. So the team we play tonight, SIUE, they beat us twice this year, once in overtime, double overtime, and they beat us at their place. So it's not out of the spectrum of us having a chance to win tonight. All the pressure's on them to beat us 3 times in a row. We just got to come out and play a stress-free game and play free and play excited and play together and see what the outcome is.
TSU head basketball coach Penny Collins with us. They play tonight, SIUE. At 9:30 on ESPNU.
It's always hard to beat a team 3 times.
And this is a
right?
different TSU team now than it was.
And that's what I was going to ask, Coach. Where have you really seen your team over the course of the season improve the most?
The amount of lessons that we've learned throughout the season. We were actually improving a lot even when we were losing earlier in the season. You look at, like I said, we got 15 new guys. And we had some scrimmage games earlier this year that were just really battle tested us against great teams. And we played Colorado State, who's one of the top 50 teams in the country, and we lose to them in overtime. This is back when we were healthy. Yeah. And then we lost like 5 to 6 scholarship players to injuries, just various knick-knack injuries, broken ribs, hurt foot, turned ankles. It was all you can think of. And then we integrate those guys back in. It's like starting over again. And then once we got into somewhat of a rhythm, started rolling, and then we lost our leading scorer, Brandon Weston, to a torn ACL like 3 weeks ago. So, this has been an up and down roller coaster season with just injuries by itself, but the resilience of this group of all the close games that we've lost and learned from, we started winning a lot of those games in the second half of the OVC season, and it awarded us the right to get that top 3 seed. And, now we're playing our best basketball in March, and that's what it's all about, trying to be the best version of ourselves this time of the year. And I think we're the closest that we can get to that right now.
We are having so many conversations talking about, tournament time and keys to a conference tournament and things like that when you're, playing consistently. Obviously, SEC tournament is going to be here in town come next week. So just curious, what is the key when it's, out of schedule, back-to-back-to-back games if you want to continue to win the whole thing? Like, what do you really preach to your guys when it comes to being successful in a tournament style of play?
Well, it's about discipline. The most disciplined teams, and it's not just discipline what we do on the floor. It's what we eat afterwards. Are we eating the right things? Are we getting proper rest? Are we paying attention to the scouting report? It's not a whole 180 change on what you have to do schematically. I mean, there's minor tweaks, obviously, to everything you do, but it's the teams that can do simple really, really well. And the teams that, they do that really well and stay disciplined in what they do, they're the hardest teams to beat as long as they are continuing to play hard and do the little things. But, at this time of year, you can overcomplicate yourself and coach your way out of a good situation. So we love where we are. I've obviously won a lot of tournaments, and I've lost some championship games, but we know our staff, we know what it takes, and all our guys got to do is go out and execute the game plan.
Well, just to let the 3HL family know, you guys have won 11 of your last 14. So when you say your best version of yourself, I know you're missing pieces, but and the other thing, you were talking about the schedule. You had to battle some scheduling quirks too, as Slay and I kept talking about those 4 road games in a row down the stretch. Like, how does Mickey do that to you?
Man, what the OBC does the scheduling. So when I saw it, when I saw it, and I was like, last 6 games of the season, right, and 4 of them on the road, and we were already in the hole, and so. I took an old Coach Bird philosophy. He used to always tell us when I was at Belmont, if you go on a 2-game road trip, if you get a split, then you're doing pretty darn good.
That's right.
My mindset for those last 6 games, that was key for us to get the top 3 seed. I said we have to go 4-2. If we can split both of these road trips and win all 4 home games, we put ourselves in position to get a top 3 seed. And then, obviously we wanted to win all 6. I wanted to go 6-0, of course. But I didn't lose my mind. Wasn't ready to jump off a bridge if we didn't. But I knew what it would take to get a bye in the conference tournament, and I had to use my old coach's philosophy to not lose my mind.
TSU playing SIUE tonight in the semifinals of the OVC at 9:30 on ESPNU. With a win, the Tigers get a shot to play for a trip to the NCAA tournament Saturday at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Good luck tonight. Thanks for the time, man, on a busy day, on a game day. We really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. I also want to send a shout out to my Belmont Bruins today. They won against Illinois State, and Lipscomb playing for the championship game. I know Lenny's coming on. I just got so much respect for Lenny and Casey, and as well Vanderbilt. They're all the national teams are really playing well right now and rooting them all on. And, man, wouldn't it be so cool for all of us to be in the same tournament?
Yes, it would.
Hell yes.
So appreciate y'all's time as well.
All right, thank you, Penny.
Thank you,
Good
Coach.
luck, man.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There he is, Brian Penny Collins. That Rick Bird tree, man. He's right. Lenny Acuff coming up next. Penny Collins just told you that. Lenny Acuff, Lipscomb basketball coach, they had a huge win. They will play for a trip to the NCAA tournament at home on Sunday. This isn't a travel tournament. Higher seed gets the home game, so advantage Lipscomb hopefully there. They've won 10 out of their last 11 basketball games. They had a tough one last night, but they found a way to win. We'll talk about it. Lenny Acuff next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, man? Brentwood Jewelry, BrentwoodJewelry.com. You need to hustle on over there. Why wouldn't you? Because when it comes to exceptional styles and the deals that they bring, it's been happening every day. How long, Slay? For over 50 years. I'm telling you that right now. 7012 Church Street East, located smack dead, boom, in the middle of Brentwood, the heart of it, just off Franklin Road. So you want to go get involved in this engagement? Let me give you 3 things you're going to look for. First, you're going to ask your partner how involved they want to be in choosing the ring. Second, discuss the expectations, not just what style of ring or cut of the diamond. Talk about other expectations too, like the proposal. See, these are things that Zeph knew walking into it. That's why he's on his way. That's why a guy like Will Lee Bowling is on his way. Now, if she wants to be involved, stop by Brentwood Jewelry to browse for rings together and get valuable feedback. If she wants to be surprised, start a conversation, and Brandon and them will take care of it, kind of like your boy did. You get that? Exceptional style, exceptional deals every single day for over 50 years. It won't stop. It's BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Good evening. It is 5:03. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. In Titans news today, edge rusher Harold Landry has been released by the Tennessee Titans. He was a 2018 second-round pick and a 2021 Pro Bowl selection. Accumulated 50 and a half sacks with the Titans over his 7-year career. Also today, the Titans signed linebacker Otis Reese IV and defensive lineman Keandre Coburn, who are both scheduled to be exclusive rights free agents to 1-year deals. Tennessee baseball currently kicks off a 3-game series against St. Bonaventure right now. First pitch already happening as Liam Doyle takes the mound. Tennessee enters the weekend as one of just 5 unbeaten teams remaining in Division I college baseball. And in college hoops this weekend on Saturday, the Vols will take on South Carolina at the Food City Center for Senior Day in the regular season finale. Tip-off is at 1 p.m. You can catch the Ball Network call of the game right here on The Zone. For your foundation repair, whatever needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great Friday. The weekend is here, y'all. By the way,
Happy Friday.
move those clocks ahead on Sunday morning.
That's right. Thank you, Lord.
As light as it is right now at 5:04, it'll be 6:04 on Monday. It'll be actually lighter than this because, we move forward. Babs is here.
What up, people?
Zeph's got a lot going on, man. I can't even begin to tell you.
There we
he
go.
is.
I would love to see Dawn produce on a day like this.
I just said anybody who thinks that producing is easy should see everything that Zeph has done in the last 20 minutes. Good job, Zeph.
Yeah,
You're the man.
she was paying you all kinds of compliments without you being able to hear her.
I know.
Yeah, I do not have my headphones on, so.
Well, a good producer would also have his headphones on. I'm just saying.
It is. Slay Dog, by the way, is calling which game is he calling? He's calling the Mississippi State-Arkansas game.
Yep.
So he has the trip to Fayetteville. So y'all can check him out 11 a.m. tomorrow on the SEC Network. Arkansas, a 1.5-point favorite. Both teams need a win there. So that'll be a good game. It is tournament time in the world of college basketball. And let's talk about Lipscomb, who advanced to the ASUN tournament final with an 81-75 win over Queens University in overtime. Head coach Lenny Acuff joins us. Coach Acuff, what's up? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you guys for having me. Hope you're having a great day.
Absolutely, Coach. And, man, I watched that game last night, and we were talking about this the other day. I don't know how college basketball coaches do it with the swings of emotion that are so rapid. But you guys were down 10 and quickly erased that to force overtime. And I was impressed with your group to not let the moment get to them and to just work and knock out that lead.
Well, thank you for saying that. At this time of year, guys, at the low to mid-level Division I basketball, this week is cruel. I mean, it is brutal. We've been fortunate. We've had a great year. We're 24-9. We're finished first in our league. We tied with North Alabama, who will play on Sunday. And the way college basketball works, if we lose last night, there's probably not a lot of people even know we've had a great year. I mean, because everything is focused on the tournament. And in the last 2 years, we have just had our hearts ripped out. We've won 20 games the last 3 years, and the last 2 years we've lost. Last year we lost at the buzzer in the first round of the tournament on about a 35-footer, and the year before we lost in the semifinals at Kennesaw, where they made a shot falling into the bench with about 20 seconds to go to win the game. And so it is cruel. So it was really nice to be on the other side of that last night. I'll tell you that. And it's a fun time, but it's a lot of pressure. This is my 6th year at Lipscomb. We've been in the finals twice. We've been in the semifinals 3 times. And before I got here, I've had guys like Coach Bird and the guys that have been so nice to me said there's just nothing like the pressure of this level tournament time, and they are right on the money.
What a great point. So, Coach, along those lines, what's your message? Like, how do you kind of approach this week with your team? Because it's super stressful of, okay, we can't screw up. How do you make sure they still are able to play free?
Well, I think it's really, really important. First off, we start 4 fifth-year seniors, which really helps. Yeah. And so our guys have been through a lot. They've been involved in big games at home and on the road. But I think it's really important that you play to win, not to lose. And honestly, I didn't think we weren't aggressive last night. I thought Queens was the better team the most of the night. They were really good, and they came after us. And it's kind of a unique situation. They're transitioning from Division II to Division I, and this is their last year. They can't go to the tournament, so they had nothing to lose. They were just cutting it loose. Man, they came in and they were ready. They played great. They won at Florida Gulf Coast in the first round. Then they came up here. We were very fortunate to get out here with a win. But that's a great point, and it's something we talk about all the time. The last thing I say to them every night is let it rip. Because if it doesn't work out, you don't want to say we weren't aggressive. We didn't play with an attack mindset, with an aggressive mindset. And quite honestly, it helps a little bit with our team because we've already, regardless of what happens on Sunday, now we want to win Sunday. We want to win bad, but it's not going to be our last game no matter what. We'll get in the NIT no matter what. Our numbers are, we're a top 80, 85 team in the net. And so since we're the regular season champs, we'll go to the NIT. But obviously every kid's dream is to play in the NCAA tournament. And so we're 40 minutes away from that.
So to go into detail about last night, for those that might have missed it, Lipscomb was down 10 with 7:43 left in regulation, 57-47. You guys go on a 14-4 run to tie it with 3:42 left. Go back and forth, get into overtime. I thought your guys did a great job because I think you're right. Queens University was definitely aggressive, especially on the defensive side. And your guys were able to swing the ball so well down the stretch and end up with open threes that were able to fall. How confident were you when you got to the point where you guys are going into overtime that, we're playing at home, we knocked out that 10-point lead, let's go do what we do?
Yeah, it really was just to get it to overtime because we were very fortunate. I've done, this is my 35th year as a head coach, and I've been on the good end of fortune. I've been on the bad end of it. And so I'm very aware that we were very fortunate to get that thing to overtime. They had the ball and missed a good shot.
Yep.
And then got a rebound and missed another good shot. And so it very easily could have ended there. And that'd been a brutal way to go out. And so once we got to overtime, I felt like we're able to catch a deep breath. If they go down and score the first points, but we hit a three. Our big kid, Charlie Williams, who's a 16 kid that can really shoot, it was great for us last night. He hit a three to put us up one. And it was just back and forth. I will say this, it was a great college basketball game. Great environment. They got a really nice team. I think we've got a nice team. It's the way it's supposed to be in March.
Well, and this, again, Lenny Acuff, head coach at Lipscomb University with us. They've got the ASUN tournament final coming up on Sunday at 1 o'clock at Allen Arena. So if you want some March Madness opportunities and you're looking for something to do on Sunday, that'd be a good place for you to be. This isn't a travel tournament league, right? So you guys had to earn that one seed down the stretch, and you were able to get that done, which gives you the home game in the final. You guys won 10. Is it 10 out of the last 11? What
we did?
Yeah. What led to the success down the stretch?
Well, we actually started 2-4, and we're 22-5 since then, and we really played pretty good basketball all year. But we lost at home to Eastern Kentucky, and after that, we knew we really probably couldn't lose again if we were going to get the number one seed. And you're right, our league is one of the few leagues left that play high seed all the way through.
Yeah.
So if you win the league, you get to host as long as you're in the tournament, and actually, us and North Alabama ended up tied. We're both 24-9. We split with each other, and we end up winning the tiebreaker because of some teams below us and how we did against them versus how they did against them. And so we're very thankful we didn't have to go to Florence. They've got a really difficult place to play down there, and they're going to travel here on Sunday. I know they were just telling us they've already sold over 3,000 tickets for Sunday here.
Awesome.
And so I think it'll be a great chance to have a sellout. And, it really is a great opportunity for our school, our basketball program. It's on ESPN2. And it's just, there's just nothing like the exposure you get for being in the NCAA tournament. It is what it is. And, and I'm an Alabama guy. We love college football. We love the NFL. But for that 3 weeks, it's about as good as it gets. And for a school like Lipscomb to be a part of it, it would be a special thing for sure.
Is it? It's interesting. Most tournaments you're playing every night once you start playing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it advantageous for you to have a couple of nights off?
I tell you what, I sure don't. I don't honestly. I don't know if I could have made it through 40 minutes tonight. I mean, I'm telling you, it has been. I really like how we do it, and it's almost that necessity because we're really a geographically challenged league. We go from Florida Gulf Coast in Fort Myers, Florida, to Queens and Charlotte, to Central Arkansas and Little Rock to Bellarmine and Louisville. I mean, so if you're not going to play at a neutral site, you do have to give a couple of days. But what I think is really important. First off, I think you have better basketball when you give a couple of days in between. Like we lost our starting center January 10th, and I thought he was the best center in the league, Dylan Faulkner. And so we've really had to shorten our bench. I mean, we played 2 kids 45 minutes last night and another one 43. So, I mean, those guys were great, and they're great kids, but I'm telling you, have to go back and do that again tonight would be very, very difficult. It's going to be hard enough Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we just talked to Penny Collins, who they played last night at 8:30. They play tonight at 9:30. And he said that.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Good for them. I saw they got a win, and I saw Belmont, Casey got a win today. And I don't know, you guys cover it. I mean, basketball in this city is really, really, really good. I mean, Mark's done a great job at Vanderbilt. Middle Tennessee's having a really good year. I mean, it's good, and it's the way it's supposed to be. You got one of the best cities in the United States to live in, and you've got great college basketball.
You said you were an Alabama guy, so does that make you Alabama or Auburn guy?
I grew up an Alabama fan. I grew up in Huntsville, Alabama. I was there most of my life. I was at the University of Alabama in Huntsville for 22 years before I came here. But I tell people all the time that when you're growing up down there, and when you're young, you really have allegiance. I was an Alabama fan, but my thing I always respond when they ask me who I'm cheering for. I said, when Nick Saban and Kalen DeBoer start worrying about Lipscomb, I'm gonna worry about Alabama. I mean, I like college football. I love football and I love watching. I like learning from coaches and their leadership styles. But I promise you, I'm not losing a wink of sleep over any football game until they start worrying about the Lipscomb Bisons.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I kind of set you up there because Davenport over here is a big Auburn fan.
Girl,
and so Alabama and Auburn play tomorrow.
My daughter
obviously
went to Auburn, and so she's an Auburn girl.
Look, see, you raised her right. Look at that.
I did. Yeah, she actually married a quarterback from North Dakota State, and she's got tied into all the football stuff. So it's good.
Love that,
man. Appreciate the visit, Coach. Great win last night. You guys really played hard and gutted it out. I know it's tough to be down 10 late with everything that's on the line and the whole season and all those things, but way to fight through that. And congrats on the opportunity that's in front of you on Sunday.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it. Lenny
right.
Acuff, Lipscomb coach. How about that guy?
Dude, I love all the coaches that we've had on. We are like hyper local today.
Yeah, and we're going to go MTSU next week when they start playing their tournament.
Yep.
What are you talking about? You look like you've got something to say.
I really need you to watch the St. Bonaventure pitcher.
He's got a really weird...
His wind-up is hilarious. And
is
he walked the first guy. Yes, it's legal. Oh, he didn't do it.
Oh, he didn't do it
Oh, it's because he's in the stretch. That's why.
It's a runner on base. Okay. We'll check it out. I think Tennessee's going to have a lot of runners on base, though.
Yeah, we are not updating this game in the next 45 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you we're not.
Well, Davenport asked me, what is Tennessee's record? They are 13-0.
One of 5 undefeated D1 baseball teams. I hope you know that.
Yeah, they're playing St. Bon.
I remember seeing St. Bonaventure playing an NCAA tournament game against Florida State, and there was a talent discrepancy.
Yes.
There
will be
with the basketball rosters, but also with the cheerleading element too.
Oh, Mayor.
Just saying.
You're cut off.
We'll be right back. Harold Landry no longer a Titan. What do you think about that? We'll be right back.
No roof allowed. Nope. But GameDayMen'sHealth.com, you need to get active, people. It's time for you to get in the game. And I'm talking to my fellas out there. If you have an opportunity to get 2, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. All you got to do is call 615-898-9367. See how I took the excuse right out of it? You don't have to get there. You can just call or text 615-898-9367. Did you know that half of all the men would struggle with erectile dysfunction at some point in their lives? I'm talking about half of them. That doesn't have to be your normal, though. Nope. This is where Game Day Men's Health comes in. ED issues can be caused by any number of things. Could be testosterone, could be something else. Bottom line, you don't know until you go see Game Day. You got 2 different locations to go to, Green Hills or Hendersonville. Grab your phone, go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Top of the page, click Book Appointment. Pull up to one of those 2 locations. Name, phone number, and email address is all you need. That's it. Someone from Game Day will hit you up. In 15 minutes, you'll get your lab results back. You'll meet with a medical expert, and boom, you're ready to get to it. 615-898-9367 is the number. Get in the game today with GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
You versus an 80,000-pound truck, not a fair fight. But me versus a trucking company's lawyers, now that's a fight worth having. Trucking companies waste no time building a case against you. They've got investigators, lawyers, and insurance adjusters all working to pay you as little as possible. You don't have to take them on alone. I'm Blair Durham from Bart Durham Injury Law. We've helped thousands of people get the money they deserve after big truck crashes. Call 615-242-9000 today. Let's even the playing field because you deserve to be paid.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
We've got the trucks, all the trims, all the towing, all the bells and whistles, and all at Truck Month Savings. Two Rivers Ford is Ford Truck Central.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Babsy's working on cleaning up the studio. We've been told to do so. I don't think I have anything in here.
You don't.
Who's going to be the most affected by this little turn of policy?
There's no question that it would be a Ronald Sylvester sleigh because all of this crap over here is sleighs. All of it.
Sleigh dog. Better get back in the chat.
There's an elephant tusk over there. Remember after Tennessee beat Alabama?
Yeah, because he took the. It's not a tusk. It's a nose.
I'm sorry, not a tusk. Yes,
yeah,
it's a nose, but it doesn't. I don't know what it looks like. It looks like something not good.
When you just glance at it, it does look like that.
Right?
Like a weird shape, not good, but yeah.
Exactly. The only thing I have in here
What do you have in here?
What is this? Oh, this is these are some of my boards from football season.
Why?
I don't know. Cal Oregon State game.
I'll bet you have so many of those in that backpack.
No, because I cleaned them out. I keep them all. I have boards from games I did 10 years ago.
Oh, I would too.
Because I put all my notes on them.
Right, and those players move around and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that? You had some like Auburn thing over there. It was like, remember? It was like a figurine type thing, and it broke the first day you had it.
It
Is it that little teddy bear?
Yeah, it shattered.
It took its finger off, didn't it? I know where it's at.
What do you mean you know where it's at?
It's over here in this studio. It's missing a finger.
Why is it in that studio?
I don't know.
Somebody stole it.
It's in there. It's got a little orange A painted on the stomach.
Or it's like Toy Story. Like when no one's here, it just goes walking around.
Yeah. Oh, that might be it.
Yeah, like Babs' dolls.
Yep. Just wandering around.
Babs is a ventriloquist, for those that don't know. And her dolls that she used, she became a ventriloquist because her mom didn't think she had any talent. And she had
That is not true.
Oh, we know what Brendan thinks of you now.
No.
I know, right? Okay, Mayor.
No, I'm just shortening the story.
Okay.
When she was a little kid, she was doing the pageant work.
What do we say, jerk?
And her mom decided that she didn't have any talent, so she made her a ventriloquist, which actually is an incredible talent. I don't know how you unlock that with inside yourself.
Can you still do it?
Very good at it, yes. Yeah, I started when I was 5.
If I bring this monkey stuffed animal in there to you, would you do it on air?
Nope. It doesn't work on radio.
Well,
you have to be seen.
Yeah, but it'll work for Brent and I.
That's the weird thing about kid talent. So, like, I was in the Nashville Youth Symphony and all this stuff, first chair trumpet, right? I tried to pick up a trumpet. I couldn't even make it. I couldn't even make it make noise. And I was first chair, like at my level, like the highest level guy in Nashville. And now I can't even make noise out of the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So anyway, Dawn was a ventriloquist during pageant days, and she still has her dolls. She had a mini-me. And who was the other one? You had 2 of them, right?
I mean, I had like 10 total, but the boy doll I used, I named him Cody. He had red hair.
Like
Cody.
Chucky?
Like Cody, yes. He's a little Chucky.
So these dolls, in my head, this is what happens. They are at your mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
Buffy still has them. Mm-hmm. She's not getting rid of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in a chest, right?
Some of them are, yes. There's one that sits out.
So my view
The
of
mini-me.
my view of Babs's mom's house, Buffy, and Buffy's house and Big Tom, is when all the people are asleep in the house, those dolls go to work, man. And like if you wake up, like my view of like if I ever had to stay there, or sorry, Babs, got to stay there.
Had to.
It's like
Jeez,
you have to
Mayor.
work or get to work.
You're just killing it today.
So if I
Killing me.
stayed at your mom's house, I totally would not sleep. And at some point during the night, I'm pretty sure I would hear. Could y'all hear that?
Those might be the mice in the attic.
Don, do you think your mom goes into the room where the mini-me is sat out on a shelf or wherever it's at and just like reminisces about you as a child?
No, I do not think she does.
Vandyman AD says, Vandyman AD 2 said, Babs, you should have gone down the magic path. I could see you as a magician. Like Nate Bargatze's dad. Nate Bargatze became a comedian because his dad was a magician. Is a magician. He's doing shows again now. I've seen Nate tweet about it. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So Baby Babs is going to become a dancer because mom works in sports radio.
I don't know what Baby Babs is going to become. She's got all kinds of skill.
She's going to be a dancer and a singer, is what we've seen.
I know,
Or-
and I don't want that.
Or she's going to be a soccer player
That's definitely not going to happen.
or a gymnast.
Which is good. That could. She's going to be small.
I thought she's kind of tall for her age.
She is, but there's no way she's going to be tall with her parents.
No, I mean, you're 5'4", and Travis is like, 6'5".
Yeah.
Wasn't about to go down that path with him. I will with you, but
No,
not him.
my parents are huge. My family's huge, so maybe she'll get the Davenport genes. I don't know.
Big Tom is Big Tom.
He didn't do it. What is he doing?
Big Tom for a reason. Stop watching this stupid baseball game.
I really want Brent to see this pitcher's wind up, but he didn't do it.
You understand what this is? This is if we all hung out at like Babs's house and we're in her living room one afternoon. This is exactly what we'd be doing right here. Stop watching a baseball game. I'm trying.
He did it. You missed it that time.
I missed it. He did it. Titans have released Harold Landry. No shock there. The connecting points that people are trying to connect are that they met with Abdul Carter yesterday, decided they're going to take him number one, release Harold Landry today. That is, I mean, they may take Abdul Carter, but that is not what happened timing-wise. Like, they were getting rid of Harold Landry anyway. If you've listened to 30 we've been telling you that forever.
Well,
We
credit
told
to
you that last season.
While the season was going on.
credit to Abdul Carter for throwing gasoline on that fire.
How about it?
Tweeting out a smiley face and then a finger holding up a number one emoji. Literally within like 2 minutes of the news being dropped. He really wants to go number one overall.
Yes, he does. But wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I get it.
But also, wouldn't you want to go to like a
He's
good
not
team?
going to.
That was funny that he tweeted that right after the news broke.
There was no hesitation.
No.
You think they told him in the meeting yesterday when he visited with the Titans for the 30 visit? Yeah, we're going to get rid of Harold Landry.
Probably not. I mean, I think it's a valid question because, like, if you're Abdul Carter, you want to know what the roster is going to look like, right? But at that point, the Titans don't have any ties to you at all, so why would they? That's my thought. Maybe they did. I don't know.
Nope, I think you're right.
Thanks, Babs.
I think he was because he was just here yesterday. He was just on it,
Right.
He
so
was just following the Titans.
Yeah.
I think if you want to kind of play conspiracy theorist, which I like to do, I think you'll be able to tell a lot more in terms of free agency next week at what level quarterback they go after, because they will go after one.
Yep.
And that's why we went through the 20. So if you tiered them, I think there's probably 3 tiers. There's probably the overpay the guy that you think can win you games next year.
For multiple years.
And then you're not drafting a quarterback number one. Doesn't mean you won't draft a quarterback, or maybe you move down and maybe you like Shedeur Sanders and he's still there at 7 or wherever you are, and then you do it. But I don't think you draft one number one if you go after a Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Then there's that mid-level guy where you could still see it, and then you've got like somewhat talented, experienced backup or competition.
So that's your Daniel Jones, Jimmy Garoppolo,
Yes.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I put Flacco in there, I guess.
put
He's
Flacco
40
in there.
years old, though.
Yeah, but
I'm okay with him.
when you look at that bottom tier you're about to get to with the Zach Wilsons and
That's straight.
love
The
him,
Zach
but
Wilson
Marcus
will make you panic.
Love him, but Marcus Mariota's in that bottom tier. I think.
No, you can put all those guys in a building, light it on fire, and whoever runs out, that's your quarterback.
Listen, Jim Wyatt, this one really got me when I forget when we had him on, but
Tuesday.
we were talking, no, it was a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. And somebody brought up in the chat talking about quarterback-wise Marcus Mariota coming back. And he flat out said, nope, I don't see that happening. That ship has sailed. Like Jim Wyatt would never flat out say something like that. It ain't ever happening. So no more Marcus talk. We're done.
So I have a question. So
that was Taylor Lewan who threw that out there.
So today...
No, somebody in the chat did earlier.
Oh, I know, but like in terms of like guys that are out there that have an audience.
So today the Titans are hosting Cam Ward. And
Yes.
they're showing him around, getting to know him a little bit more, spending the day with him. On Monday, they're going to be spending time with Shedeur Sanders. For them to determine who they want or which quarterback that they like better than the other, what do you think they're trying to figure out about these guys in these 2 full-day meetings today and Friday, or today and Monday?
That's a good question. Like the thing that I was thinking about is like, where do you take Cam Ward to dinner? And Shedeur Sanders, where do you take him? Do you take him to the same place? Or do you take him to different places? And who's involved in that little party?
Have you really been thinking about this?
Yes. Like, where would you take him?
I would look.
There's so many new restaurants in Nashville.
Thought about it. I would not take them to the same place.
Well, remember they took DeAndre Hopkins to 1230 Club, right?
Yep.
And Ryan Tannehill went.
Yeah.
But that's a different deal.
But
That's
that was
free
agency,
Yeah.
right?
So you're probably not taking current players, right? Like, so it's probably, I don't know, Brinker and Burke and all those guys. Borgonzi. Maybe you go Italian.
So I bet I bet each one of them gets to pick where they want to go, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
maybe.
I love me some Eddie V's. That would be my choice, you know?
Or bourbon and steak or Kane Prime.
I wonder what different.
Kane Prime's got a room too. Like you can hide in
You
there.
can hide in there.
Yeah.
Well, almost all these places do. What is it? Is it the standard that's completely invitation only over there?
There's a room in the diner too where
Yeah.
you can come up a back elevator and not even see anybody.
All of these restaurants have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wonder what differing questions they're asking these guys compared to what they did at the combine. To kind of get deeper in and know these guys at a deeper level.
Also, I think it would be tougher with Cam because he's kind of brief with his answers. I don't know what he would be like in that setting, but Shedeur I think is way more affable in terms of like a setting with a bunch of people and having a conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think also though when you're here in your own building, you have maybe like lower tier executives that are also, or not executives, coaches, whatever, that are also meeting. Like Cam Ward's on the board, I'm sure, drawing up plays, talking about what he sees in certain plays. Like you have more time to kind of dive into stuff like that too, as opposed to just an interview of initially getting to know them, right? Which I think is maybe why the reports were out there that the Titans were annoyed that he wasn't at Senior Bowl to be able to sit down and have those initial conversations while he was there. Because when you bring him in, you want to like really dive in and see like the football IQ part of it, right?
For sure that. And you're going to put him on the whiteboard and he's going to meet everyone that's over there.
Yeah. Like think Gruden, when Gruden would sit there with the quarterbacks and draw plays and say, okay, you see this. What are you thinking? What do you see here? So you can kind of figure out
And those play
how
calls,
their
man,
brain works.
You can find them all over. Like there are all kinds of NFL players all over social media, like getting asked to describe a play call.
Right.
And they're so lengthy. But, we were talking to Taylor Lewan about this, for example, and he said, look, man, these calls are lengthy, but I only listen for my thing. And so like I hear the two things that I need to do, but the quarterback has to know it all.
Right.
And then the end of that is you can always say kill and then go to another one.
Right.
So
it's kind of crazy. Interesting.
You've got to be exceptionally smart.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or study enough to where you can kind of overcome it too. You know, you got to have the hard work part in there. Okay. So John Hopkins in the chat says, Babs, if Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones were coming out of college this year instead of in 21, would you still take Cam number one, not knowing how good of a pro any of them would be? That's an interesting question, huh? Who went the highest out of them? Zach
Wilson went number 2 overall.
Zach Wilson went 2 overall, right?
Two
Yeah.
overall.
Trey Lance went third.
He went 3.
And then Justin Fields went 10th, I think, to the Bears.
Interesting.
No, that might be a Mitchell Trubisky.
Trubisky went high. Well, Trubisky went like 2. Didn't Justin Fields go number 1?
No, Justin Fields wasn't a number 1 overall pick.
Oh, okay.
No, he was down there. I believe it was
11th overall.
Okay, 11th.
I just looked it over.
Okay.
11th overall.
Oh, I was thinking of Caleb.
It's an interesting conversation, right?
This is how I would rank those quarterbacks.
I don't remember, though, because I don't remember how I felt about those quarterbacks because I never dove in because the Titans didn't need one then.
So Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, I'm putting them on the same platform as purely it's their potential that people got hooked on, not their performance and their tape and what they actually did in college. It was the potential that they could have done. And I'm putting them at the bottom of that list. I think I would go Cam Ward, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. And Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, I think, are interchangeable there. It just depends which one you like. But
can you imagine it? I mean, the Zach Wilson thing came from Jeremy Fowler. We played it earlier, who mentioned Zach Wilson as a possibility for the Titans. Can you imagine if they did that? That to me, that means you're taking Cam Ward, number 1.
I want to know why. I want to know why he threw out Zach Wilson. Like, is that just something he just said off the top of his head, or
no? Those guys don't do that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like. That kind of like
that's why we always tell you listen to what Chris Lowe says, because he bulldozes past a lot of things, but he says a lot of things, and a lot of times you just might not notice. And he doesn't say things just to flippantly say. That's not how journalists do it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what kind of makes me worried. That's what kind of makes me worried is like, where did Jeremy Fowler hear Zach Wilson's name and the Titans at, and why is he saying it on TV?
I don't know, Zeph.
Oh, my gosh.
Look into it however you want to. Look into it. All right, you're headed to volleyball?
Yeah.
Somebody on the chat asked if you lost a bet because you're wearing a Vandy volleyball hat.
Everybody knows I've been supporting. I've been asking Candace, and even before her, asking them to bring a volleyball program back to Vandy for years. So everybody knows I'm all aboard this whole Vandy volleyball thing.
When we come back, we'll play that piece from Jeremy Fowler. You can hear it and read into it however you want to read into it. But also, before you go, Babs, I know you want a Tennessee baseball update.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Zeph.
Yeah, she doesn't have her headphones on, but I'm going to let her know anyways that Tennessee is up 3-0.
3-0
on St. Bonaventure.
On St. Bonaventure. I have been watching the St.
Here's
Bonaventure.
the beauty of that. I took my headphones off, so I didn't have to hear that.
But that's why I said it. So you would hear me. He's got like 3 different windups, this guy, for the Bonnies. All right, we'll play Jeremy Fowler and what he had to say about where the Titans are going in free agency next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. You need replacement windows. You need replacement doors. You're building a house. You need new windows. You need new doors. Or maybe you're adding an outdoor area that you want to close in and you need windows. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville can do every single bit of that, and they're going to do it really well. I can speak to that because I'm also a customer of Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville and would love to recommend them to you. Couple ways you can get a hold of them. One, you could just stop by one of their 2 showrooms, which are a lot of fun to browse all the windows and all the doors. You can pull different things out and push them back and see what you like or what you don't like, what would go with your house. And you can do that in Franklin at 277 Mallory Station Road, or you can also do that in Hendersonville now, 256 East Main Street, 2 different locations, same great staff, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. You can also just hop online and schedule a free consultation. Check out the Dawn deal they have going on for March. Just ask them to give it to you. They'll take care of you. Go online at PellaNashville.com.
What's happening, good people? KellamStemCellInstitute.com. Head over there, get that inflammation up out of your body. You probably like aches and pains. Yeah, I'll just go take a leave or Advil or something to get inflammation out of your body, but you're going to be doing it over and over and over and over and over again. That stuff, man, eats at you internally, and you already have the cure inside of you. All you got to do is harvest it. That's right. Your body, your cells, your solution. Harvest your body's stem cells and store them for future and continued use. Now, these cells are your body's healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. Stem cells attack inflammation in the body, and we know that all autoimmune disorders are derived from inflammation, whether it's congestive heart failure, lung issues, arthritis, autism, either one, it doesn't matter. 615-850-4415. That's the number you need to hit up. 615-850-4415. Talk to Dr. Kellam directly. Sit down with him. Only can do that at KellamStemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you. Don Davenport has headed over to the Vanderbilt, Tennessee volleyball game at Brentwood High School. I know a lot of people are going and are going early because they're going to fill that place up to the point where the fire marshal will probably not allow anyone else in. So doors open at 6:15. Match starts at 7. If you want to check out some volleyball.
You think Dawn's listening in her car on the way there?
No, I doubt. I doubt it.
I was gonna give her a Tennessee update as she was driving down the road. 5-0, by the way, Dawn, if you're listening.
5-0, Tennessee.
Yep, 2-run home run there in the. I think that was the third inning. No, it was the second inning. No, it was the third inning. Sorry, I can't read.
Yeah, it's the end of the second inning. Tennessee has a no-hitter through 2 innings. Did I just give that up?
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that.
Coming up tomorrow on Saturday, SEC basketball, number 19, Kentucky, at number 15, Missouri. Missouri, a 4.5-point favorite over the Wildcats, 11 a.m., 3 11 a.m. games. Number 25, Mississippi State, and Arkansas in Fayetteville. Arkansas, 1.5-point favorite. Both teams need a win there. 11 a.m. SEC Network. Vanderbilt at Georgia, 11 a.m. ESPNU. Our thanks to Mike Morgan with the SEC Network for hopping on today. He will be on the call of that game. Also, Slay Dog on the call with the Mississippi State at Arkansas game as well. South Carolina at number 4, Tennessee. Tennessee, a 15.5-point favorite. Line too big, Zeph?
Yes, I will never take. Not this year. 15.5 is a lot of points. I think the last time we saw a line around that big, it was when Auburn and Georgia were squaring off, and Slay took it, and then I told him not to, and so then he took another parlay and took Georgia to cover, which ended up happening. That's just too many points in the SEC.
They are going to do the senior day stuff after the game, like Kim Caldwell did. I don't know about doing it after, man.
And they got a lot of seniors and some important ones. Zakai Ziegler, who has been just the heart and soul of this team since he stepped on campus.
I read a story where he wants to explore coming back.
if it's possible.
You want to talk about record-breaking point guards who nobody wanted out of high school.
Jemai Meshack.
Same thing, yeah.
Same thing, kind of. And he didn't start as immediately as Zakai did, but he has formed himself into a...
He's had some incredible moments, one of the best defensive players in college basketball. What if they did it before shoot-around? Like, what if they did it that early? Then it doesn't really carry over, right?
Yeah, well, then you don't get the crowd.
You don't get the crowd, but, I mean... I don't know. I mean, Kim Caldwell had to do it after they lost to a 3-win Georgia team.
And one of the biggest upsets in college basketball.
You want to talk about no crowd. I mean, you run the risk of that.
You know what? I've decided that Reese and Laura are going to be there, so there's no way Tennessee is going to lose. Because
and I believe Reese won tickets to the Tennessee-South Carolina game.
He called me yesterday, not to go on air, but to tell me where his seats were. He says he's like 6 rows from the floor.
Wow. Look at us giving away seats like that. I didn't know that.
He's like,
I need to house those.
He's like, there's 3 rows of like folding chairs like on the floor.
Yeah.
And then there's the rows, and he's the 3rd row up. So six rows from there.
Oh my gosh. And Reese is going to be like 20 beers in around that crowd. Like the high dollar donor guy.
Yeah.
All right, Reese, you and Laura have fun.
I think that's the crowd that doesn't stand up during games.
Plus, it's Friday, and they didn't call in.
Yeah, he told me he had to he switched a shift so that they could go.
Okay. I love that you guys have these conversations.
He called me just to tell me.
That he's not calling in?
That he's not calling in. He did that yesterday.
Number 7, Alabama at number 1, Auburn. Auburn, an 8.5-point favorite. It's almost like they're daring you to bet Alabama. Like, not daring, but begging you to bet Alabama. So reverse line theory tells me Auburn. I don't bet basketball. Y'all can do whatever you want.
I wouldn't touch that game with a 10-foot pole. It's just...
1:30 p.m. ESPN. Number 22, Texas A&M at LSU. Aggies by 5.5. They broke a 4-game losing streak with a win over number 1 Auburn. Last time out. And no hitter still intact. Through 3.
I really wish you would stop saying that.
I was, I'm going to have to stop saying it here in a second. So you'll be fine. The next time Tennessee pitches, we won't even be on the air, so I can't do anything about it. Ole Miss at number 5, Florida. Florida by 11.5. 5 o'clock SEC Network and Oklahoma and at Texas. 7 o'clock on the SEC Network. Again, our thanks to Brian Penny Collins, TSU, playing in the semifinals of the OVC tonight at 9:30 on ESPNU against SIUE. If they win, they get a shot to play for a trip to the NCAA tournament Saturday at 8 o'clock on ESPN2 against SEMO or Little Rock. Also, our thanks to Lenny Acuff, head coach at Lipscomb, for hopping on. Lipscomb will play for the ASUN tournament title and a trip to the NCAA tournament on Sunday at home at Allen Arena. He said they've sold 3,000 tickets or more already. But if you want to go and see March Madness right in front of you, you can do it Sunday, 1 o'clock, for a trip to go dancing in the NCAA tournament. They'll play North Alabama. Also, our thanks to Jay Graham, former Tennessee running back, now Centennial High School football coach. He did great. Can't wait to get him in studio. Let's get him into the boom boom room. That'll be awesome. Jeremy Fowler indicated that the Titans may go down the Zach Wilson path in terms of free agent
Mina
quarterback.
and Bill make their plans here. What are you hearing about the plans for quarterback there for the Titans?
Yeah, Laura, so I do expect the Tennessee Titans to snag a veteran quarterback in this market. They're gauging that interest right now over the weekend, planning for free agency. I don't sense that it will be that top-of-market Sam Darnold type player. Could be a mid-tier type option. Maybe even like a Zach Wilson type player who's been a backup, who's still got some upside they could bring in. Because most people around the league still do expect that Miami quarterback Cam Ward will be firmly on Tennessee's radar and could be the pick at number 1. If you do that, they just need somebody to hold.
There you go. Also, congrats to Belmont, 76-63 win in the quarters. They will play Drake, the number 1 seed, tomorrow at 2:30 for a chance to go to the final. All these local teams, man, fully involved in conference tournaments. Hope you have a great weekend. Man, we really appreciate you including us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take it lightly. Hope you have a great night and a great weekend. Good night. God bless. See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya, unless you are Zach Wilson, who apparently is getting interest, plus all the local coaches that are playing this weekend to continue their season in the postseason.
Appreciate y'all listening and watching on YouTube. Duck Falling says, if Zach Wilson comes to town, hide your mom, hide your aunt. Pretty funny.